What's going on, everybody? Whoa! There we go. Forgot my light. What's happening? Welcome to episode 141 of Two Dudes and Some Bullshit. My name's Dave McRae, coming to you live from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. He's Tony Michael in Atlanta, Georgia. Tonight, we are watching the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It came out today on Netflix. Watch along with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live! We're live, ladies and gentlemen. Tony and I have not seen this movie. We are watching it tonight. We hope you will watch along with us. What is going to happen? Leatherface is back. He is back. This is the sequel to the original 1974 classic.
The second sequel to the second
sequel. The second sequel to the original.
No,
to
wait,
the whatever.
third sequel.
Oh, the 90th sequel. The 90th sequel.
If you count part 2 as a sequel.
That's right.
Then Texas Chainsaw 3D with Alexandria Daddario, however you pronounce her last name.
Daddario.
That's a sequel because it opens up with the ending of part 1, and then it jumps. Time jumps.
Yes.
Several years in the future. So yeah. So this would be the third direct sequel to the.
It's crazy. So now
this poor franchise.
This is obviously receiving mixed reviews. No surprise there. This is a short film, by the way, folks. I'm surprised more people are not talking about this. Maybe they don't realize it. It's about 83 minutes TRT, total runtime, but it's about 74 minutes without credits. It's not that long. It's straight to the point. So this is kind of cool. This might be one of the shortest films we've ever watched here. And but I'm looking forward to seeing it. First time, came out today. Mixed review, sequel to the original. Sally Hardesty is back doing her best Jamie Lee Curtis impression from Halloween 2018. So this should be not the same actress, by the way. For those of you that don't know, the woman who played Sally Hardesty in the original from 1974 sadly passed away. So this is a different actress, but we shall see how this goes. Now, before we jump into it, I was having a good conversation with Darren from the Slaughtered Lamb Movie Podcast, Darren and Frank, who, by the way, if don't do it now, okay, but after the show's done, if you haven't already, make sure you check out their Best and Worst of A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. It just was live just last hour. I was on it. It was great. Well, I mean, we recorded a couple of days ago, but yeah, well, you know what I'm saying. Make sure you check that out as well. But so we were having this conversation, and because they've already watched it, they're doing a Best and Worst of, I think, next week. And
franchise Chainsaw?
No, just of that film. Right. And so, we're having this conversation because we've had this conversation before too about how old is Leatherface now. It's kind of a Billy situation, whereas when we made It's Me, Billy, we took the approach of, 1974, sorority girls, Billy, maybe he's in his early 20s.
Talk about this like a week ago?
Yeah, we did. Maybe Billy is like 22, 23 or whatever, which would put him in his late 60s, early 70s. But Leatherface, we're having kind of this really good conversation that although Leatherface may appear to be somebody who may be 25, maybe in the original Texas, maybe, which would put him like, because this is supposed to be 50 years later.
You could go even early 20s because with his deformity, you could get away with saying he was 22.
But you know what Darren said, which is also possible. Maybe, just maybe, he was like 16 or 17. We've all known those kind of big guys, right?
I had a couple of them in high school.
Right, because so I don't think in the 74 original it was ever really stated conclusively how old he was, and that could also help to solidify why he was childlike in some ways, and he was underdeveloped clearly. I mean, you can be 40 and be that way as well, but I just mean maybe he was 16 or 17. I know it might not feel like it or look like it, but listen, we've all known guys who were big like that, right? Kind of those kind of guys.
Given Leatherface's,
which would put him late 60s.
I hate to use the word deformity, but it is what it is, right? Given that situation, you could easily put him between the ages of 17 and 22 and get away with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure, 100%. And which would make present day Leatherface, what would he be in his 60s right now?
Yeah, well, let's say he was 17. He'd be 67.
67. So if you went with that 17, yeah, I mean, that's totally believable. Cause like
Totally
you said,
believable.
it was never defined in the first film how old he was. He, like you said, he just had a childlike mind.
Right.
Obviously we know Gunnar was older. We know
sure.
that.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
there's no denying that part of it.
Yeah.
But the way Gunnar played him, he played him like a child.
That's right.
With there are certain mannerisms when he's sitting by the window, and just kind of having that like freak out moment. So like you said, I think it's open to interpretation how old he truly is. Something that I mean, look, if we were talking like Leatherface was, if we knew definitively that in 1974 Leatherface was in his 30s, I would have a hard time believing today that a dude in his 80s almost.
Well, especially from what we've seen from the trailer where he looks pretty spry and he's pretty knocked out. Now, having said,
I mean, there's a lot of fitness dudes out there that I see on YouTube that are in their 60s and 70s and they're still fucking cranking. So I'm not saying it's not possible.
But even if you're not, I mean, when we did It's Me, Billy, like I said, we felt that Billy was probably in his early 20s, and which would put him in his late 60s, early 70s. And Brian Charles Peter, who actually played the physical part of Billy in our film, I think he's 70 this year, but he was 68 when we shot Billy. And, he leaped up onto that bed to kill, Justine, spoiler alert, but if you haven't seen it, well, you're in no rush.
Right.
Thanks, by the way. But no, he did that all on his own. Like, we told him that he had to, we choreographed it a bit, but the way he leaped up, and Brian was handling himself. He was pretty good. I mean, I think he's a ski instructor as well. He skis a lot. He's outdoor all the time. So I mean,
age is just a number, man.
Exactly. And again, that was his real hair, by the way. Just saying. So really interesting to have that kind of conversation, because watching the trailers, you're like, wow, how old is Leatherface now? Is he like 85 or something? Man, he's moving really good. But maybe not. Maybe he's like 65. Jesus, maybe he was one of those really strange kids, and in the original Texas, he was actually only 5 years old.
Yeah. It works because look, we're believing Michael is in his 60s, right?
Yeah, of course,
give or
early
take,
60s. Yep,
early 60s. So look, early 60s doesn't mean you're not capable of doing a lot of shit.
60s is the new 20. Okay, it just
totally are. But yeah, I think like we said, if it was defined as, Leatherface was in his 30s, early 40s, then I think we all would be sitting here like, you might have want to set this like early 2000s.
Exactly.
Because you got to remember too, he's not the only character that you have to believe is still kicking ass, because we got to believe Sally, who we know is in her at least early 20s.
Yeah, so she'd be in her early 70s now.
For 100%.
Yeah.
100%. These weren't college kids road tripping together in the original film. These were young 20-year-olds, going off whatever and whatnot. Yeah. Although that is college technically. But we know that. We know.
I know what you mean though.
Yeah. We know that these were young adults in their early 20s. And she was a lone survivor. So we know for a fact Sally's going to easily be in her 70s at this point.
That's it.
I don't have high expectations for this movie. Unfortunately, the thing about this franchise has such a soft place in my heart because I want it to do good. Like I really do. Whenever I hear they're making a Chainsaw movie, I'm always in its corner hoping for a good, release. Right. And honestly, man, not since, the 2003 with Jessica Biel. And then I do like the prequel with Jordana Brewster. I know that's been divided amongst fans of the franchise and in the horror community. You got some people who like it, some people don't like it. I was on the side. I liked it. I thought it was a good prequel. I actually wish they had done like a trilogy with that run, like one more, like what happened after the Jessica Biel situation. Where did he go? I wish they would have completed that.
Well, I wish they would have done a sequel to that one. Maybe.
Exactly. A direct sequel. Yeah. They got a prequel.
Bring back Jessica Biel after 20 years.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, they technically could.
They could. They could still do it. But yeah.
If she wanted to.
The thing with me with this film is, again, Texas not one of my favorite franchises. judging by the trailer, judging by sort of kind of the pulse of some of the non-spoilery reviews I've seen online, I suspect this film to just be quick, over. It's a slasher movie, modern take, on it, Easter eggs. It's almost maybe a fan film with a multi-million-dollar budget. And sort of that, and that doesn't, I don't use fan film, at least I don't, because I just made one, in the connotation of it's shitty, it looks bad and things like that. No, because clearly, like myself and people like Vincent and, fan films, if you have the right things in place, can be, really good and high caliber. Of course, we didn't have millions of dollars. So I just kind of get this feeling that it might have that kind of vibe to it, maybe because of its short runtime, I'm not sure. But I just have that feeling that at the end I'll be like, all right, go. That's, it was entertaining, it was bloody, but will it do anything to move the needle in terms of the franchise forward? That's why, I was informed from Darren earlier today that there is an end credit sequence. So obviously we'll stick around for that. For those of you that don't know, maybe you've already watched it. You might want to go back and check that out. And what is that end credit sequence? Does that do anything to move the needle forward? Generally speaking, if you have an end credit sequence, that's the point of it, is to set something up and whet your appetite. But yeah, so where are they going to go with this? What's going to happen? You know what I mean? So we'll see.
Who knows?
We'll see.
I just want a good chainsaw, one that I can enjoy. I love the first film. I mean, the first is in my top 10 favorite horror movies. And then after that, part 2 is kind of like, it's more of a mood, like the whole black comedy thing. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't like it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of that love-hate thing. Like, all right, if I'm in the mood for it, I'll watch it, but it's got to be a mood, because it's not something I will put on. The only 3 that I do put on is the original, and then the two remakes from the early 2000s. I got the one with Alexandria Daddario only because of her. I can watch it.
Is that the one where she's like the sister?
She's like the Sawyer family descendant baby.
You see that one? That's the one where they made Leatherface. Yeah, I don't want to have sympathy for Leatherface or empathy.
Right? No,
he's a murderer.
Exactly. And then Leatherface, Leatherface, that came out a few years ago. I shut that off.
We'll get to the movie, folks. We'll get to the movie. It's not long, so hold your horses.
The Leatherface movie that came out a couple years ago, that was just horseshit. I couldn't even get through the movie.
Didn't care.
And then the 2 other ones, they're part 3 and the one with Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger.
All right.
Again, I just not really a big fan. So it's like, unlike where Halloween and Friday the 13th and Nightmare, and even Scream, you've got a couple in those franchises that you can pull from and say, like, these are really good movies. These are enjoyable to watch. This franchise, it's not. It's trash. It's not. It's just.
It's trash. That's all it's called. It is. It's trash.
And it's unfortunate, because I want it to do good. I don't want it to suck.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's do it, my man. Let's do it. Let's watch this. Now, Tony and I, of course, naturally, we're watching it off Netflix. We are paused. Now, and remember, in case you're just joining us, we have not watched this movie yet. So we are watching this for the first time here today with us, or with you guys.
Actually, you know what I watched earlier? I watched Ted K. Pretty good.
Really?
Good.
I'll have to check that out.
They're doing an on-demand theatrical release. So if you got iTunes or Google Play, the other one, you can rent it on there. It was good. It was cool. It was a solid movie.
Cool. All right, 1 second here. I have to. Why am I not? Oh, I see what happened. Okay. Oh, wait. Hang on a sec. Hang on. Let me just get. So Tony and I are paused with the legendary logo on the screen. So that's where we are paused, with the legendary logo on the screen. You got the little design there. It says legendary. That's where we are paused.
That's what my parents were going to name me.
Paused?
No.
Legendary? Legendary. That's good. I like that. All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's your name? Legendary. No, really.
What's your name?
Legendary.
It's legendary. I'm legendary, bitches. All right, here we go. Let's do this. Netflix and Legendary Pictures presents. Boom, 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 boom. I like the blue text.
Hour and 12 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's not long. Well, that's without credits.
The movie,
it's longer with credits.
The movie Host that came out.
Yeah, not much longer.
No, that's like 55 minutes. But hey, sometimes, man, you get right to the point.
Yeah,
sweet.
That's it.
You know?
That's it. Sometimes that's all you got to do. I believe this is Larroquette's voice. I think I heard was going to be doing this.
I do know.
Yeah, it's him again. Good old John Larroquette. I think is his name, right? Yeah. So of course the movie came out in 1974, but the film it takes place in 1973. Going back, showing the old footage, getting the nostalgia going, getting the, oh, there they are. They've already done a better job at this than Halloween Kills did. There she is. She wants nothing to do with you. Slam. That's a composite sketch. That's a hell of a good composite sketch. I think it ooh. I love Texas. I want that shirt on the wall. You got the chainsaw there? I want that shirt. I love Texas. Chainsaw corkscrew. Who doesn't love a chainsaw corkscrew? Huh? Only survivor of Chainsaw Massacre tells her story. Look at this guy. This guy right here could be Leatherface. Sign him up. I love how the composite sketch is of him with somebody else's face on him. That is true. Yeah, we'll get to your super chats after the movie is done, folks. Feel free if you want to send in a super chat, feel free to do so. We'll get to them during the Q&A portion. Again, we are watching the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. Tony and I's first time watching this. It was released today on Netflix. We just started if you want to watch along with us. Do. Oh, yes. Introducing the young 20-somethings that are going to be blood. Here comes Tony in his pickup.
If I had one, I wouldn't be that piece of shit.
Oh! Here's Tony. He's got his gun on his gun's like, hey, what's going on, fuckers? I'm sweating through my shirt, filling up gas. I'm a real man. I'm a man's man. Let me settle in here. It's a very long movie, so I'm going to have to settle in. It's taking off. Or they're taking off, I should say. Drone shot. Yep. How you feeling, Tony? What do you think? So far, you feel all right? Mood, atmosphere, setting?
Yeah, I mean,
so far so good.
It's halfway through the movie.
Can you imagine if it actually was? There's only 5 minutes left in the movie. This is amazing. Actually, that would be amazing. All Leatherface does is go to town on these four people. Four people. That's it. Like, just no mercy. And then the movie just ends, credits roll. That'd be great.
This is why I wish they would have said it in like late 90s.
So you'd prefer if
I'm not.
I
don't like. I don't like tech and technology being brought into a movie. Keep it out. That's just a small nitpick, though.
I got you. I
get it. At some point, you're just gonna have to accept it.
Or you introduce it, but you're in a position where, for whatever reason, it's a little cliche. But hey, it works. It doesn't work. You know, battery's dead, no cell service or something. You know what I mean? Then that gets rid of that as an option. Oh, here comes. Well, I always forget his name from the other films. What was his name?
Oh, Maggot.
Ermy? No.
Yeah.
Is that his name? What up, fuckers? You imagine if that was what he's doing? Oh. Texas. You're in Texas, son. Texas. Texas. Got to get the I hate young punk kids cops established. You're in my neck of the woods. This girl's got quite the Spock eyebrows. I don't think it's a bad thing, just something I noticed. I think he should have been wearing his sunglasses and then taking them off. You know, like T2. This wasn't shot in Texas, though, was it? I don't think it was.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Do you believe it, though, Tony? Like, I've never been to Texas. Does it look like it could be that area?
That it could be Texas.
Yeah?
I mean,
okay.
When you start getting to some of the rural parts of Texas,
Yeah.
You know, especially because some of the photos I've been, I'm going to start sharing from my trip out to Oklahoma a couple of years ago. It's desolate. It's this, you know, and Texas and Oklahoma, you know, are right on top of each other.
Right,
so,
right.
I mean, I like that personally. That's my kind of living, but you know, I guess everybody's to each his own. But yeah, I could live in a place not like this little downtown, but like out in the middle of the nowhere, no man's land, just surrounded by fields. Yeah.
This looks like a back lot.
This does for sure.
Yeah. Like a little
where probably the B footage of the car driving that didn't have the kids in there.
Correct.
Who knows where they filmed that.
Yeah.
But this is definitely a soundstage.
Yeah. A back lot. It's a back lot somewhere over. I forget where they shot it. I thought they shot it overseas or something, or like Australia, or so. I don't think it was even in North America.
I just
but maybe
found
I'm
out
wrong.
with the new Elvis movie that's coming out, which I'm super excited for.
Yeah,
that looks so good.
Me too. I'm really excited.
That was filmed in Australia.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. As the snow
I didn't even know it was coming out, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, that's on my list for most anticipated movies.
I knew it was coming. Oh, this guy.
Plot twist, right?
Ooh. That's the guy they contact. Oh, I see. Young teenagers. Who's going to survive and who's going to die? Well, I bet you the one in the jean jacket there on the right, she's going to survive. She'll be the only survivor. It's just kind of set up that way. She's the first person we're introduced to. Looks like she's got a little bit of a story with a little scar on her lower neck, chest there. I think she's going to be our survivor, and the other three are going to die.
Yeah,
the one in the jean jacket.
You think she's going to be the survivor?
Yes.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
I think she's going to be the survivor because she was the first person we were introduced to. And
they really have to put a Confederate flag. First of all, the Confederate flag is not really something you do see in Texas. It's more, the Confederate flag is more flown in states like my state, Georgia, Alabama, right, for sure, Mississippi, Louisiana, a little bit of Florida, a little bit of Tennessee, South Carolina. Sorry
to interrupt, but there was, I guess that
you don't see that shit in Texas. You really don't. That's so to put that there, and I'm supposed to believe we're in Texas, that's just false.
Feels shoehorned in. There was a guy sitting in that chair there in the darkness on the left. There was I assume that was Leatherface that was sitting there, and then now he's no longer there. I guess that's him with his face. Yeah, no, I think the survivor is going to be the girl in the jean jacket, just because I think she's got a story to her, and she's going to have more of an arc than these others. That's my prediction based on what I am seeing so far. Who's this woman? It's me. It's actually me. I didn't tell anybody I was in the movie. It's me. It's me in prosthetics.
Hello, dearie. What are you doing here? Oh, well then, come on in.
Yeah, that Confederate flag is rubbing me the wrong way. That there's no reason to shoehorn that in there. Really no reason to shoehorn that in there.
Well, it is what it is. So it sounds like he was part of an Untroubled Teens. I got the subtitles on as well because I have the movie down a bit lower so I can hear you as well. So I can hear them, but I'm also reading the subtitles. Sounds like that after the 73 massacre, that Leatherface was put into like an orphanage or something, and taken care by this woman. And in that photo, I think it said 75, that photo, he looked, maybe he was, and listen, if he was simple-minded, like as a child, that almost makes sense. Like he needs taking care of, he's just a big kid, a big oaf, as they say. Just a reminder, folks, that again, if you want to send in a super chat, you can, of course, by all means do so. We're not ignoring them. We're just going to get to them after the movie's done. Not a long movie, only 74 minutes without credits. Of course, we have to stay to the end of the credits to watch the end credit scene, but not long. You know what? At least so far, when I watched the trailer, I wasn't crazy on the color palette and the color and the way the kind of certainly looks. I don't mind how it looks here. I don't mind it. Some of the color timing they've done and the correction they've done. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. The shot there of the light coming down the stairs is a nice shot.
This is our house. Ooh, she said our. What do you mean our? Who else?
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. There he is, standing in the light, cascading, creating a silhouette.
Get out of here, Leather.
Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh no, she's being carried away. Oh, she just threw up. Ooh. Here's Old Man Leather. Old Man Leather. Old Man Leather's picking her up. Here comes the bus. sheriff. Wait, why is she going with him? Why is she going with him? I should have shut up. Chat room can let me know if you've already seen the movie. Oh, there's his face. I wouldn't have shown his face. How do you feel about that, Tony?
It's just a little...
I wouldn't have shown his face, though.
Right. So we got to hand the black guy the Confederate flag. Retarded. Yeah, I'm saying the R word for that one. That's just so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
That's so fucking forced. Like, it's so fucking beyond cringe. Like, okay, this is what we're doing.
It is what it is. You know, I try to, when I see certain things, I just try to let it go and focus on the film as a whole.
We can't just make a movie. We got to bring political fucking bullshit into movies. Can't just kick back and enjoy and leave dumb shit out of it. Because this is fantasy land, not real world. Fuck.
You know what's interesting is I'm actually quite enjoying the pace of this movie because it's a relatively short film. We are getting to things fairly quickly, and it actually has a nice sort of flow to it. Do you know what I mean? Like a nice kind of pace. I still don't know why she's gone with them though.
There's just
why did she go with them?
Why did he go with him?
Well, she went with her
His mama.
Well, it's his.
Yeah,
yeah.
Adopted mama.
Yeah. I get that. Uh-oh, what's happening? She's dying. Or she died. She died.
Why did this chick go with them?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know
trying
why.
to figure that out. Like,
why did she go with them?
Why would she go? I guess we just need to set up a kill.
Well, chat room who has already seen this movie, why did the blonde go with them? I'm sure it was motivated, but I didn't catch it. Uh-oh. I don't like seeing it. Yeah.
I don't like to be touched.
Yeah, he doesn't like to be touched. I don't know about it.
Whoa! I knew that was coming. Break the arm.
Oh! Now, of course, how he's pissed. Let's go. Oh! Blood capsule. Bite down the blood capsule. Uh-oh. Oh, that's from the trailer. Ooh.
Well, now she in the middle of Texas, man. Hey, I know what the fuck going on out there.
Mark Chase says, no, it's not motivated, Dave. It's just stupid. Well, no, but what was the reason they gave? There had to have been something. It would make no sense for her to just suddenly hop in the car and go with them. There had to have been some sort of exchange and dialogue or something, even if it was a stupid reason. What was the justification for it? To give everyone updates on her condition. Really? That was it? Thanks, Mr. Movie Buffo. That was it? Nah. It's kind of lame. See?
Here comes the climate change conversation.
Here's no. Here's where I think we're gonna get
blasting diesel in the air.
I think we're gonna get a little bit of backstory on who she is, and that's what's gonna happen. It's just part of the reason why I think we're So she's a survivor. So that mark on her chest is, or on her upper chest there, is a bullet wound. Yeah, that's right. So she survived. Oh, a high school shooting. Okay.
High school shooting.
Yeah. She's a survivor. That's cool. I mean, it's not cool that there was a high school shooting.
That we're bringing a high school shooting into
but,
a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film.
But what I like about it though is that it's giving her character. It gives her character. See, she's fearful. She's afraid. She's struggling with something, obviously, and this is why I think that she's going to be the heroine by the end of the movie, because she's going to have an arc where she's going to overcome her fear, and maybe she'll use a gun to blow away Leatherface. I have no idea. Probably not. I like the way that he talked to her, though. He talked to her very much kind of like how, what's his face, Johnny in Cobra Kai approaches certain, things about how life is different today. How he was like, listen, I don't need to be schooled by some virtuous young punk or whatever he just said there. I forget what he said, but.
The other thing I'm not feeling is the vibe of the kids here. These kids look so out of place. They look like they belong in Soho, New York.
Well, I think,
starting something there. They just.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, they don't fit. Like, why would they go to this desolate town in the middle of nowhere, Texas, when none of them look like they would ever go to a town like this in Texas to begin with, to do some type of, they look like they should be in the city somewhere like New York, Seattle, Portland, LA.
Right. Well, where are they from? Are they driving from there and they've driven to Texas?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Like,
is that what young girls, people in Texas, obviously not everybody's a, cowboy.
No, but if you've ever been out to the country, it's like I said, you either have to like that lifestyle, which not a lot of people do.
Right.
And living that way. And when you look at like these young adults, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but they all look like they should be kicking back in Starbucks, drinking their lattes.
Right.
I mean, they really do. They don't look like that they would just intentionally go to this desolate town in Texas to start whatever it is they're starting.
Right. Oh, she's alive. She's awake. Fractured bone to the neck. Ooh. Is he cutting off his mother's face?
Could be.
He's cutting, his adopted mother. Oh, we'll just call her his mother. He's cutting off his mother's face, Mama. That sounded like Sloth there.
Now, if
from the Goonies.
If they were just passing through, like, I know, look, I get the passing through story's been done to death.
Yeah.
But if they were just passing through, that would make sense. But settling there.
Well, are they settling? Again, I'm confused. Are they settling?
So am I.
They're there to settle because there's people coming in to help them as well, I think. I don't know. Maybe it's a work thing. I don't know. Please, I'm on Route 74 outside Harlow. Somebody, please. Oh, he's cut. Come on, Mama. It's all right, Mama.
I think, yeah, like even Philip says here in the chat room, as a New Yorker, we wouldn't normally go to a rural town. Yeah, it's like I said, you've got to want to live in a like in this type of atmosphere, and it is an adjustment. I mean, I like it because I like the peace, I like the quietness. I'm good. I'm very content.
Yeah,
that's why I spend all my time out in the middle of nowhere doing pictures like that. That's my type of living that I enjoy, but not many people can live like that.
He's putting on his mother's face.
It's why there's a reason why they call them small towns for a reason.
I will say this. I do not have any trouble believing, because of the size of the actor playing Leatherface right now.
I think it's Gunner. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the same guy. In terms of his stature and physique, he's not too tall or too short. Short. He looks like he could be the same guy. Oh, I missed that. Oh, she's pretending to be dead.
And moving like that ain't gonna help though.
No, stop moving. Stop vibrating.
Yeah, you're doing a really shitty job at playing dead.
I know.
The point of playing dead is don't move.
Oh, this must be the moment where I hope it's in here because it was in the trailer where his head pops up out of the field. Looks like he's taking a shit. Come on, man.
I will say, I know we've been kind of negative so far here, but I like the cinematography. I will.
The cinematography's good. Yeah.
I like the tone, the color tones they've chosen, the warm color tones, very Texas Chainsaw feel.
Mm-hmm.
Something that the Texas Chainsaw 3D with what's her name, Alexandria, was lacking in.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that movie was a little bit too cool, didn't have enough warmth to it. So I will say the cinematography is very good so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm just going to crawl over to that side instead of getting the fuck out the van. Right.
Yeah, why would she go to that side?
I don't know. Because it's horror movies.
It makes no sense.
She's going out the window on that side.
Why is she doing that?
Instead of going on the other side wherever, I don't fucking know.
The last time she saw him was on that side. Oh, I like that she's got a big bump on her head there.
She's got a huge knot.
I hope that's a big bump on her head that the makeup department put on and not just a natural bump on the actress's head that I completely missed. Oh, there we go. There he is. Killer. Yes. Come on. Do it. Do it. She's got a bump on her head. We don't need her anymore. Ooh. Oh, is she going to cut her? Is he going to cut her face? He should. Get your mother's face off you and cut her face. I don't know. We didn't really see anything, though.
No, just a little bit in the stomach. And...
Yeah. She might still be alive. I doubt it. There he is. Why wouldn't you just cut to this shot here? What is the point to cutting to the other shot? I don't even think if I was editing
trying to add time to a short movie.
Maybe, but if I was editing the film, I'm telling you, if I was in the edit bay and I saw that, I would say, I like the idea him popping up. That's cool, but it looks like he's taking a shit. And you know what? Let's just axe that. It's only like 2 seconds. Like we only linger on the shot for 2 seconds. It's not necessary. It's not needed. I think he looks like he's taking a shit. I would bring another. Hey, Bob, Steve, John, come here. Does it look like he's taking a shit? Yeah, it looks like he's taking a shit. Definitely looks like he's taking a shit. Okay, well, let's axe it. And that's what I would do. I would just go from the shot to him walking through. I don't even understand unless it's, yeah, I would not have kept that in. It's pointless.
I don't get why this large group of kids are here. I mean, I get why the smaller group of kids are there.
I think they're there to
body count.
Well, yeah, that's part of it too. They need a high body count. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, I still think the girl, not these two, that girl, the one in the back there, she's going to be the survivor. I will survive. Ow! Arr!
Honestly, I hope nobody survives.
I hope no one survives.
I want one Chainsaw Massacre film where nobody survives.
Totally. I want to see Leatherface actually taking a shit in the field. That's what I want. That's I hope
when he's done. When he's done.
Yes, that's what I hope the end credit scene is.
It is finished.
Yes.
Time to release.
Yes, that's what I hope the end credit scene is Leatherface taking a gigantic dump in the field. And we see it. We see it actually coming out of his ass. Disgusting. Unnecessary.
I will say, at least so far, it's definitely more enjoyable than Leatherface, the movie that came out a few years ago. That was dog shit.
Here's Laurie Strode.
Yeah, right. A lot more enjoyable than the 3D one with Alexandria Daddario. Definitely better than part 3 and part 2. It's not bad. There's just, I wish they would just leave out some of the woke references. I get why they're gonna fucking shoehorn that shit in there, because that's what they got to do in every movie nowadays, which is fucking beyond stupid. But minus that, it's not bad. There's Sally.
There she is, Laurie Strode.
I like her house. That's
Laurie Strode.
House. That's how I want to live.
That's how you want to live?
In that type of house. Absolutely.
Right now. Do it right now.
Absolutely. I just
right now.
A house like that. It's
yeah.
Easier said than done. Because
see, this is
most houses like that are on land like that are usually like family owned. Yeah. Why would she have a Polaroid? Oh no, wait. What's his name? He took the picture. That's right. Good callback.
Good callback. Yeah, really good.
Good callback.
Yeah.
I like that.
It is. Okay, after seeing her in her truck, who doesn't want to see Laurie Strode and Sally Hardesty team up? I mean, come on. I think we should get Sally Hardesty in Halloween Ends. I love how the barf is still on the floor there. That's good.
Well, the thing of it is that
good
to me,
continuity.
I don't really look at her as Laurie Strode. It's how they wrote Laurie Strode this time around. Laurie Strode to me is a girl who likes to run away from the problems, not fight the problems.
But Tony!
Yeah. Now all of a sudden she's fucking Linda Hamilton or Ripley from fucking Aliens.
She is.
Fucking
Sally.
Fucking badass fucking biatch. Yeah, that's not Laurie Strode. Sally, we've never really seen
Jamie Lee Curtis would beg to differ, my friend.
Yeah, as she preaches about anti-gun shit. Okay. But we never got a really proper sequel with Sally, so...
No, well, this is it. Here it is. Short, sweet, to the point. Sally's going to tear shit up. I think Sally will survive, too, probably. Sally and that other girl will survive. That's my prediction. I will say, though, at the beginning of this movie, I do like when these kids first arrive at that house and they're walking through the space and there's that one shot of Leatherface, which looks like him.
At the top of the stairs?
No, it was, maybe it was her.
In the chair?
Yeah, maybe it was her. Maybe it was the woman, but it looked like a man sitting in the chair in the darkness. And it's just for like a second. Like it's not, he's just kind of there. And then they cut away and then they cut back to that same shot and he's gone. That is what I would do. That's exactly the kind of shit that I would do. I like that. That was a nice touch. What the hell is she reading here? I wasn't paying attention.
I don't know. Neither was I. I was listening to you.
Damn it.
I wasn't paying attention. Although we could rewind it back because it's only an hour and 10 minutes.
I know. I don't want to rewind it back. That means everybody in the chat's got to
good
rewind
lighting.
Back.
Good
yeah,
lighting.
It's fine.
I like the tone.
Yep.
It's good.
Yeah, the cinematography's fine. You know, it's competently made.
It's what I expect for, a horror film, this type of lighting, split lighting on his face. Little green in the background there.
Pots and pans. Looks like the sunlight's coming through. That's a nice touch. It's not actually sunlight for people out there. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. Doesn't really look like his mother, though, does it? Wait, was that his friend's face? Or Oh!
Leatherface going to town with that meat cleaver.
Oh, he's letting him get away. He's like, you're dead now, kid. Ooh, blood and gore. Blood. If you're big into blood and gore, then so far you should be satisfied. She stands there watching it. Better run, woman. Ooh. So he's dead. The blonde is dead. We just got this one here. And where's the other girl? Where did she go? Is she with that guy?
Probably. No, she was sitting on the bus.
Okay. With all the... that's right. I forgot there's like a ton of other kids. Now, is that his mother's face he still got on?
Yeah.
I guess it is. Mama! You've been bad. That's just a chunk in a sloth impression, folks. Calm down.
Dave's pretending to be.
No, I'm not. It's Sloth from the Goonies, okay? Is he changing outfits? Is he getting into a dress? Is he going to get into that dress?
Ooh,
that would be amazing.
Probably.
That would be
that's a callback. Remember when he
amazing.
dressed as in the original, he a lot of people forget this. There's actually 3 mask changes in the original. He does the first look, which we see is the kill look. Then he does the grandma look when he's making dinner.
Right.
With the grandma mask on. And then there's the pretty woman, which is back there, the final with him in the suit.
Yeah.
And I think he's wearing some type of dress apron in the dinner sequence there when Sally's tied up and they're torturing her. But a lot of people forget that Leatherface rocks 3 different looks in that first film.
Yeah, Darren from the Slaughtered Lamb says in terms of the look of the film, it has a typical Netflix sheen, and he's right. Yeah, it has a.
Oh yeah.
I don't mind it for this kind of a movie, but you do see this type of color correction and timing in a lot of horror movies that even aren't Texas. There's a certain kind of, I mean, even the new Stranger Things trailer from like a couple of months ago had this sort of look to it. I don't know why, but it's like in the 2000s when there was that weird kind of orangey green color palette that seemed to be on every movie that was released.
Sure.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Well, like I said, the
Well, it works here.
cinematography is good. It's nothing like innovative. It's pretty.
No.
It's a safe play.
Yeah,
for
but
the color
it works.
tones they're using.
It
does.
works for Texas Chainsaw for sure. Yeah, it's fine. Help me. Do you hear that? Kind
Well,
of.
actually, Thomas, I don't think in the original Chainsaw they were doing like what H2O just straight up fucked up with the mask. Leatherface was changing his look because that's just who Leatherface, like, you know what I mean? He doesn't have one specific look. You know, he has 3 different looks. He has the butcher look, which is what we see in the first part of the movie. Then he has the grandma look, and then he has the pretty woman look at the end and I think that's just his character. That's how he was written.
Right.
And that's how between Toby and Toby and Gunner, that's how they wanted Leatherface to be in the first film. H2O just fucking did a shitty job of
He's going through the wall.
not deciding on which mask to use.
He's going through the wall to get his chainsaw.
He's getting his Scrooge McDuck money.
He's getting the chainsaw.
Did you see the Chip and Dale
I did
trailer?
not. No, I did not.
Yeah. I was like, man, that's a callback to our fucking childhood, sort of.
I'll have to check it
Rescue
out.
Rangers.
It would have
It's kind of a hybrid between. It's not a hybrid. It is. It's like they're doing the Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but with also doing like regular cartoon and then CGI. It's interesting,
right?
What they're doing with it.
Oh, he's alive.
My guy's still alive.
He's alive.
Alive.
Come on, buddy. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Put your ass into it. You can do it. You can do it. Put your ass into it.
Now it's raining.
Put your ass into it. He starts walking out there going, looks like they're having a fucking party on this bus. They are.
Yeah, I'm more like
this guy's gonna die.
Pickup trucks. I'm more of a Chevy pickup truck guy. That's my
like a rock.
More old school, like 80s, 70s, 60s. That's what I would own. I wouldn't own. Well, the newer ones are not too bad. Like the 2020, 2021 look, it's pretty solid.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's driving a Tundra. I could be wrong on that.
Oh.
It was really.
Hey man, you okay? Oh. scream. Here comes a scream. Oh, no. We haven't had a scream yet in this movie.
No, just a lot of shock.
Just a lot
awe. Just shock and awe.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. Oh, he's dying. He's dying. He knows. Maybe this guy used to be a, I don't know, kid there once. Maybe he knows Leatherface. I don't know. Go on, get. Go on, get now. Get on that bus. I said, get on that bus. He says it like that. Ooh.
She is very awfully calm for seeing someone she knows.
You would think she'd be like, holy fuck, guys.
Right.
Dante just got his face and ripped it out. What are we going to do? Yeah, totally. You would be, first of all.
Yeah.
Maybe not that hysterical, but you'd definitely be telling people what was going down. I like that shot. The silhouette. The rain coming down behind him. Good shot. He's still going after his chainsaw. Now, I would imagine that this is supposed to be the same chainsaw from 50 years ago. So does it look like it?
I think it's a Pullman 7 something.
Okay. Does it look like it?
I have it.
Okay.
I have a similar model for my.
You let me know photos. Then, because you would know better than me. Is this, have they done a good job at least?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Very cool. So they've done a good job with that.
I can't remember the model number now. Shit.
Can you imagine an extreme close-up on the model number? Just for the uber hardcore fans?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I got that. It's like that's the first thing you see when you walk into my house.
Nice. That basically says, do not fuck with anybody in this house. Tony is not afraid to use it. He's not afraid to use it.
Right next to a couple of dead skull animals.
Mm-hmm. Bear, this guy in the chat room, Bear, says he was 15 in 74. Says who? Who? I'm not saying you're. Oh! Oh! Oh!
That's a broken leg.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, that was good.
Now, if I was the chick under the bed, I'd be running the fuck out of the house.
I would be running out of there. I'd be running out of there, 100%. Well, Bear has to provide evidence. He has to say where that information is coming from. Because I could also say he was 12. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that I don't recall was it mentioned in the movie?
He was just a big 4-year-old.
Yeah, well, I think he was a fetus, actually.
Sperm.
Oh, he's getting his head. See, I told you he was going to die. Told you he was going to die. He's getting his head smashed in. See, if you like your blood, guts, and gore and your kills, then this is...
Got some anger management there, buddy.
Ooh, this is the movie for you. He's getting... His head is completely caved in. Completely caved in.
Kills so far, they're good. They're good. I like the kills. They're enjoyable. They're popcorn fun kills.
Yeah. I mean, if you like...
It's what you should expect from Leatherface.
Right. Well, I haven't... Yeah, I guess so, yeah. I'm coming up here. Oh, maybe the blonde's alive.
I agree, MAGA Cat. Rob Zombie definitely could. I don't know why he hasn't, but it just seems like this franchise is right the fuck up his alley. And for whatever reason, he just... I don't know. Doesn't want to do it.
I bet you she's going to find the blonde alive. Because she's out there. She's going to find her alive. She's going to hear like, help me. Or she'll think she's dead and then she'll be like, oh my God, you're alive. What happened? Who was it? Who was it now?
It was this masked man. He had this face and he coming. God damn it, it's him. I knew he'd be back. That's exactly what's going to happen here, I bet. There's nothing wrong with that if it does play out that way. Now, maybe it won't either. If it was me, I would leave her as dead because you don't need her to be alive for Sally to know what's going on. But I could see them doing that.
You know, here's the thing. I just looked up Gunner's. Gunnar Hansen was only 27 when they made this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Not this movie, the original movie.
Right.
So you could go with the argument knowing that he wasn't even in his 30s yet and he was only just past his mid-20s.
Yeah.
You could definitely put Leatherface in the late teens, early 20s.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah. She knows. So I was wrong. She's getting out the photo. She's like, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for you guys. I'm getting out of here.
I still
Come
think
on.
that's a really nice callback touch.
It is. Yep, for sure.
Definitely kudos for them.
She's getting herself psyched up.
Set designers, adding that,
She's getting herself psyched up. Okay, has this woman here told anybody on the bus
yet? She just sat here the whole time and not said nothing. Like,
come
hey,
on.
This dude is dead, and I'm just gonna sit here and be quiet.
You
and
would
not
literally
say
say something. You would literally say something.
I'm not gonna tell the girl that we just found a dead body. No, I do.
I know
like
it adds
girl.
drama.
I like her.
Which one?
The girl that you think that's gonna live.
Yeah, I like her too.
I'm feeling.
I like her look too.
She's my favorite.
I like her look.
I think that's what it is. It's her look that I like.
Yeah, I like her look. Yep.
Not really into the whole city looking type girls, more like the town boy country girl.
She's gonna survive.
It's my cup of tea, I should say.
She's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Why isn't she? She should have left when she had the chance. She had a chance to escape and she didn't. Damn it.
I know. That's what I was thinking. Like, why didn't she run for it?
Well,
fighting.
She's getting the keys from his bloody, deformed hand.
I still want to see Leatherface versus Michael. It needs to be done.
Oh, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
This version of Leatherface versus. No, I'm just fucking around.
I know.
I'm just getting a rise out of you.
But people in the chat room are right now are going,
Yes,
no.
This version of Leatherface.
Go home.
This version of Michael.
Stop it. You're the reason we have shit movies.
Bring it. If I were to do a sequel to this, my idea would to still set it in the 70s.
I think the next movie they should do after this is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Leatherface takes Toronto.
I mean, minus a couple of the forced things that I didn't like, especially with the Confederate flag. Take that scene out. This isn't that bad.
Yeah, the Confederate flag didn't. I mean, I get.
It just feels forced.
I get. What I mean? I get what you're saying. I totally get what you're saying. There's definitely other people that would have watched the movie and thought the same thing. It didn't bother me to the same degree, or really at all. I guess because I kind of expect.
But then
these
when he
kinds of things
hands it
now.
to him,
yeah!
He sent that chick flying.
That was good. Yeah. Good work with the stuff.
Start it up.
Oh, here it comes! I'm turning this fucking thing.
There it is.
Yes! Come on, bitches! Let's go! Come on! Yeah! You're not gonna get away from Daddy now! You're not gonna get away from Daddy now! Yeah!
You all right, dude?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, just making sure. You having a seizure over there?
I'm good.
I hope he fucking shreds her to pieces.
Yeah, he's going to. He's going to. He's going to. My glasses got all screwed up there.
I bet you there are fans right now that are going to analyze the sound of the chainsaw and whether it still sounds like the same chainsaw from the first one. Ah, yeah, the old underneath the house with a chainsaw going through the floorboard routine. Through the floor, I should say. Oh, is that shit? Is that
probably.
shit? Yeah, that's shit. Yeah. She saved her. Maybe they'll both. I don't think they're going to both. I don't think they're both going to.
Come on, give me some Leatherface running.
They're not.
I need to see a geriatric Leatherface run.
You need to see. Well,
come on. Where is it?
Was he? I think. Well, oh, this is where he gets on the bus, right? Where is everybody? Are they all on the bus?
For some reason, they don't know what the fuck is going on because that woman has still said nothing to this point.
Oh, that's right. It's a double deck. Oh, that's right. It's got two levels.
They just drink in their lattes and.
Do you know how much that she would smell?
Booze and lattes.
She would
and
smell.
they're not even saying anything.
Do you know? No, they're not. But she would smell. Do you know how much she would smell right now? She would smell like shit. That's a good stance. Yeah, I totally believe it's the same guy. Yep. I believe it's the same guy. They've cast well in that sense.
Why are they not telling them what the fuck's going on?
He's going to go out there.
And she's not. Whatever.
Stay here. I'm going out there to check it out, fuckers. Oh, his head. Now scream, please. Okay, I hope she's the first to go. Come on, you gotta scream. He gets on. Daddy's gonna get you. Daddy's gonna get you. Oh yeah, here comes the they all got their phones. There's no, but well, this was in the trailer. But what's funny about this though? What's funny about this though is that there's no way if this was actually happening, you would take your phone up. I mean, with a chainsaw, you'd be screaming for your life. You'd be trying to attack him or something. Here we go. Yeah, yeah, yes.
Well, I will say this:
kid. Yeah.
when it comes to the idiots and cancel culture, and yeah, I'm very satisfied watching Leatherface do this because I've had that thought and vision a few times myself.
Be careful now. You don't
cancel this, bitch.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Kill them all. Kill all those little fuckers. That's what he's thinking in his head. Oh! Yes! You're gone, baby!
What was
this
it?
Poor woman, or this
so
poor...
Halloween was evil dies tonight. Texas Chainsaw is wokeness dies tonight.
Leathered, yeah, I see what you're saying. But here's the thing. This poor young girl has survived a high school massacre shooting, and now she's involved in this. She's gonna need major therapy. Major therapy. I'm telling you. I love it. Come on, Leatherface, don't stop. Keep going. Yeah! Oh, yeah, just to put the exclamation point in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm loving every second of this.
Yeah, come on. You're going down. Oh, look at all the bloody hands and whatnot. Oh, that's a lot of blood.
I don't care how stupid it is. I love it. That's a good payoff.
Well, because it's just nonsense. You know what I mean? And that's why it's just silly fun, at this point.
Which is what you got to have with a Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Well, I mean, there's
fun. It's fun. 2 for 1. 2 for 1.
Ah, fuckers. Yeah, take that. I love how it's just this bone hanging off. Come on, get her. You ain't going any. Oh! You should have screamed. You should have screamed, and you didn't. And this is what you get. You see?
Absolutely. This might be my favorite kill sequence in all of horror ever.
Yeah.
Just for the sheer fact of who he's killing. Absolutely.
Punk little kids, not little kids.
Punk little kids who are all about that woke cancel culture.
Ooh. Gosh, she must smell like shit. I still think she's not going to survive. The one that got the shit dumped on her. I don't think she's going to survive. I think she will die. But man, that girl that survived the high school shooting, she's going to need some.
It doesn't feel short.
Right. Well, that's the pacing, right?
You know,
so
I will say that we know this movie's short.
That's how it's cut.
It doesn't feel short.
No,
it feels like
it's got a good pace.
Length. Yeah, horror movie.
Mm-hmm. Get in, ladies. I know what's going on here. I've been around this block for years. He killed everyone.
Leatherface. Not the villain we asked for, but the villain we needed.
Tony's in love with it.
I'm in love with it. He
just hates it.
I went from hating it to absolutely loving it.
Kill all those kids.
Like a second.
Kill all those damn kids and their damn cancel this shit. Tony's gonna get that tattooed on him. Kill those damn kids.
Kill those damn kids.
The movie is
he should have been waiting right there. Just chopped her head off. That would have been great.
Yeah, should have. Kills on the bus. The kills on the bus go round and round, round and round.
In this movie.
Round and round.
Well, no, they were screaming on the bus a little bit.
Yeah. Now the question is, when Sally Hardesty comes face to face with Leatherface here, what is the look on Leatherface's face going? You know, is there going to be like a moment? I want to see a moment. This is the first time in 50 years that they are seeing each other. I want to see a moment. Let the moment breathe. Let it breathe for a moment where the audience can relish in the fact that these two icons are coming together for the first time in 50 years.
She's a deputy? I just noticed that she's got a sheriff thing on her or a deputy thing on her or whatever.
Oh yeah. She was. Yeah, I think they said earlier in the movie that she was a deputy and she worked. She spent many years looking for the man, and now he is back. There he is. Get up.
Not how I thought the moment between the two of them would be.
No. But here it is. It's a better moment than Curtis and Michael, I think, actually.
It's better, but it's not what I was expecting.
Oh, she's saying the names. Kirk, Pamela, Jerry, and Franklin. Yes. Let's hear it. There's a big boy.
So you're not going to shoot. What are you going to do?
Oh, say my name.
Say my name, bitch.
Say my name. Ba-na, ba-na, ba-na. That starts playing. Shoot him, Sally.
You're wasting. What are you doing?
But this moment is a moment that I will say that, see how they're allowing the moment to breathe, right? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying that necessarily she didn't shoot him or whatever. I mean, maybe there's, whatever. But the moment, there was a little bit of a moment there, which I like. The moment did breathe. Why didn't she shoot him? What is it? She's obsessed. She needs to know. I need to know why. I can't shoot you without knowing why. I can't kill you without knowing why. And he didn't kill her. Ooh. You need me.
She's
Just
too
as
old.
I need you.
He's only after the young ones.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's too old. I don't bother with you anymore. Oh, shit. I got the volume up a little bit. There we go.
Oh, he's got your girl.
My girl. No. She's going to survive. She ain't going down. Oh, yeah. I told you. Come on now. Remember me now? I'm the one that got away. The one that got away. How often have I said that in shows I've done? Get the fuck out of here. It's almost like it's just fun. It's just silly. And this, because this was shot, again, I don't know specifically where it was. It looks like a back lot. That would have made things so much easier. You're basically shooting in one location.
There he is, he's running.
Yep. You're basically shooting in one location. So that would have made the production
all out of bullets.
so good. Or so much easier, I should say.
Oh! You dead, bitch.
He's done what Michael could never do.
Michael better do this. This is how I want to see Laurie die in Halloween Ends. Although, unfortunately, we didn't really get much with Sally.
Oh, that was, whoa, I didn't see that coming. Whoa, Sally. Leatherface did what Michael could never do. Leather. Put on those stilettos.
Leatherface is becoming the GOAT by the end of this movie.
Put on those stilettos. Yeah.
I honestly didn't think that was coming.
I didn't expect that.
I was shocked.
Well, because
but
I
in
thought,
a good way. Like it's a good. I'm not disappointed.
No.
We just. I mean, it would have been cool to have a little more screen time with Sally, but
it would have been because she's a legacy character, and we've never seen her. At the same
time, I'm like, you know what?
Well,
it's all with it.
It's also because we've never seen her in anything else in the series. I don't believe. I stand to be corrected, but I don't think so. So
well, is she at the beginning of part 2?
I don't know.
Part 2.
3?
The 3D one with Alexandria Daddario, because when they do the flashback
sequence, maybe.
There could be a brief moment of her there. I don't. Right. It's not her, obviously.
Yeah, but they've never needed the
character,
right? And we've seen so many iterations of Laurie. You know what I mean? And that's why it kind of runs its course, even though the 18 film is a different version of her. We've seen Laurie so many times. With Sally, we just haven't seen this before. So it was really quick. It's like, oh, there you go. What the hell? So why is she just there? Is she stuck? Can she not get out?
I don't know, but I want to see Leatherface pull a Michael, pop up from behind her and snap her neck.
Here it comes.
Or this is good too.
He looks like he's enjoying it. See, I told you she was going to die for what I did to your mama. What did you do? Oh, she's the one. She didn't deserve that. Oh, here it comes. Good stuff. Off-screen kill. Oh! See, I told you she was going to have that arc and she was going to use the gun. She's got the confidence. She just doesn't know what the fuck to do with it. So watching him run, do you believe it's the same guy? I think
Absolutely.
So. I think so.
Geriatric Leatherface.
I think so.
I love it. He's running.
No! Oh, she's still alive. How is she still alive? How is she still alive?
How the fuck is she still alive?
One last shot.
I know. What? Come on.
One last shot. Then she's going to go over. She's going to go, I'm going to tell you how to use this. Oh, no. Wait, is she going over to check on her? Hey, I'm over here, bitch. Don't run. If you run, he'll never stop hunting you. Or haunting you. Ooh, I like that. I like that line. That's a good line. Because you could apply that to a lot of situations in films and things like that. Laurie Strode could, well, she tried to fight back, but you know what I mean. If you run, he'll never stop haunting you. I really like that line. That's good. It's very
Go get her, Lila.
Poetic and philosophical.
Layla, Lila, whatever her name is.
Come on, woman. You can do it. You got the strength. You got the power. The power.
Grab that gun.
Grab it. Grab it. The passing of the torch or the passing of the gun. Not too much time left in this film. Yeah, that was short. She was she was in and out pretty quick.
In and out. She came, she saw, she died.
She got sawed.
Literally.
She got sawed.
She came, she got sawed. Died.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe this girl is going to survive. Maybe the two of them will. Maybe the two of them will.
She needs to die.
I hope so.
She must die.
She has to die.
Sally will
Chat
not
rooms.
die tonight.
Having a debate back and forth.
On what?
I don't know. Sally's death, I think. It
Sally
sucked.
will
It was
not
great.
die. Sally's got 0 deaths. She's got 0 deaths.
I want to see
Just keep
Laurie
going.
Strode die that way. Michael gets a chainsaw.
Shit.
Goes right up,
I
splits
want
Laurie
Michael
into.
to
Can you
chop her
imagine?
ass up.
Can you imagine though how devastated some of the fans would be if that act, because of how gratuitous and violent it
and
is.
how un-Halloween it is.
Right, exactly.
I would love every
exactly.
second of it, but Halloween fans would be very like, what the
man.
fuck is this?
There'd be so many people going, "What the fuck?"
I don't even think Jamie Lee Curtis would
No.
agree to doing that.
No, I don't think so.
No, it'll be some type of stupid poetic slow motion, similar to kissing Michael on the mask, falling off the rooftop nonsense.
I hope not.
It'll be
I hope
something
not.
stupid like that, probably.
I hope not. Oh, the chainsaw has started, or it's idling. She's got Sally's gun. Yeah, I like this kid. Well, I say kid. She's probably 40. I don't know. You know how kids are, how people are playing younger people. Oh, he's tricked you. Oh no! Oh, come on, girl, fight back.
But can you swim?
Yeah, that's just it. Can you swim?
Be great if like Jason popped up now.
Yeah, she pops up. Yeah, Jason pops up.
Oh, everybody start going nuts.
No, Ernie.
Wait, Jason's in here.
Ernie from Sesame Street pops up. Rubber ducky. Yo, it's like, what the fuck's going on in this movie all of a sudden?
Everybody's tripping on acid and thinking it's great.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell? Oh, what happened? I guess she was able to get out of that. She climbs out.
I don't want her to die.
No, I don't want her to die either.
I'm gonna be fucking pissed if she dies, but I got a feeling.
Got a feeling?
Bad feeling.
Oh, no. Come on. Come on. Yes. No.
Shit.
Oh, shit. No! Come on, girl!
Fucking gun,
Run!
girl.
Get the gun! Get the gun!
Get the gun.
Oh, shit! No!
I will say he's handy with that fucking chainsaw.
Oh, I think after so... Oh, no. No.
No.
No. Come on. Oh, no, wait.
Push it, no.
She's remembering. No, wait. I think she's remembering. She's remembering. No. Come on, girl. Come on. You can do it. She's remembering back to high school. She's remembering. Yes. Come on. Yeah, see, she's remembering. Oh, her friend comes in. Her friend comes in to save the day.
and she's going to kill her friend because her friend now has just sacrificed herself to save her.
Get the gun.
That's essentially what's happened here, I think.
Get the gun.
Yeah, there it is. And now Leatherface is going to kill her, right?
Better kill her.
Better kill her. So her friend has sacrificed herself.
We'll call back to part 2 there.
Here it comes.
Over the head.
Oh, no.
Oh,
come on.
no.
She needs to die. It needs to die. No, they're both going to survive. They're both going to survive. Now, Leatherface, as far as I know, is not supernatural. So those shots should have an effect on him.
They should have some serious effect on him.
Oh, no. Oh, they've given it to her. Why her? Oh! Look at her face with the chainsaw. Ah, power. He ain't dead. No, he ain't dead, bitches. A lot of blood there, but you didn't see his head come off.
Just a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound. It's just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound. Totally can survive it.
Totally. He's going to survive. He's going to survive. Or maybe not.
We're gonna have 2 final girls in this one, eh?
I guess so. And there he goes. Is he going to sink? Is he going to sink? Come on, finish him off. You have to finish him off. Cut off his head. Oh, that eye was like, I'm going to get you, bitch. I'm going to get you. I remember you, or I'll remember you. You're going down. I'm just going to swim down to my living room down here and watch some cartoons. So they both survived. They both survived. Are they like friends or a couple, or I'm not sure.
Chat room saying they're sisters.
They're sisters. Oh, okay. Okay, well, that's cool. That's cool. They're sisters. They don't look anything alike, but that's all right. Maybe they had a different mother or a different father.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. All right. They both survived. I thought for sure that one girl was going to go.
Same here.
What's Sally's photo just conveniently doing in the
right next to her hat?
Right next to her hat. That's right. She puts it on. Ah, you see, but it's her though. She's the next Sally. So they don't bother calling the police. They just get in the car and
police are dead.
Well, that's true. No, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I know, I got you.
They're just gonna drive out of here and head home.
All right, so I got to see what this end credit thing is going to be all about.
Hang on a sec. I want to hear what. Yeah, that's right.
Let's go home.
Let's go home. I love these movies. Well, that was close. Let's go home. Oh, yes!
Oh, shit.
Yes! Yes!
Killer!
Yes!
Killer! God damn it,
Yes!
killer!
Yes!
God damn it, killer!
Oh, yes!
Yes! Most satisfying.
Yeah! Yes! 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 Oh, yeah! Look at him spinning it around with the head in the head. Oh, yeah, baby!
That was worth it.
Yeah! What do you think of that, fuckers? I knew it! I knew it! Can you feel it? Huh? 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 Can you feel that one, you fuckers? Oh my goodness.
Very rewarding kill.
Oh my goodness. That
Very rewarding.
But you see, what did I say when he was like sinking down into the water and he had that one eye? You know, he was looking at her.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
He was looking at her. He was looking at her like, bitch, I'm gonna fuck you up. You have no idea what's coming for you. You are going down. Okay, now we'll let this roll here till the end.
Yeah,
credits.
because I want to see this end credit scene, and then we could do the super chat.
This is not a very good movie, but it was.
It's entertaining.
The kills make the movie fun and satisfying to watch. The movie as a whole, it's not a very good movie, but it's short, sweet, to the point, and that makes it, just yeah, it's fun to watch these people die with blood, guts, and carnage if you like that kind of thing. Now, keep in mind, folks, as I've always said, I'm not a blood, guts, and gore guy, but I can watch a movie like this and appreciate it for what they've done and what it is. Right. And just like how we've watched it here, laugh, scream, yell, woo, yeah, and just, it's silly.
Man, I almost got my wish. Everybody died.
You almost
got my wish.
Almost. But but as a whole, I mean, no, it's not. It's not a very good movie. But it was satisfying in terms of the kills.
It's fun. I was starting to say it earlier. Minus that one forced scene where he hands the dude the Confederate flag, which I didn't think was really necessary. You take that part out of it. That
didn't bother me. That didn't bother me.
It became a Chainsaw Massacre movie.
Mm.
I thought I was going to hate that line about the canceling. You're going to get canceled, but I actually appreciated it even more so because of how he went off and fucked all of them up.
Right.
I was like, yep, that's what I want to do with every single one of you.
You know what?
Cancel culture brats out there.
Did you want to fast forward to the end credit scene?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go down to like 1:20:25. That's where sort of the studio info is popping up there at the end.
And I'm there.
Okay, me too.
I'm right. Okay.
MPA?
No, I'm at the end credit. It's playing.
Okay. Oh, I'm not there yet. So let me just wait a second here. It's coming up. End credit scene is coming up. Hang on. It's just saying copyright 2021. Up. Here we go. I'm there now. Insects. All right. It's Leatherface getting ready to chop some meat. What's going on here? Let's see.
He's home. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
I see what you did there. Good
callback. Now, does that look like the house from the...
It does.
It does?
It looks like the outside the facade. It's not, obviously.
Okay.
The house now is like a...
it's like a restaurant or something, isn't it?
Bed and breakfast or some shit like that. Restaurant.
So they would have built that. Okay. All right. Well, there it is, folks.
He's home.
He's home.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like you said, it's not like... but then again, it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm not expecting Shakespeare acting either. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, it doesn't need to be. It literally it serves the purpose. It's short, sweet, to the point. Really good kills, fun, entertaining to watch with you.
Mm-hmm.
That ending for sure was fucking like, yes.
That was
great.
great.
Gonna be so mad if that chick survived this movie. I'm like,
yeah, I know. I was, and I thought
that was a very. Yeah, that was gratifying.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed watching it on the level that, like, we're talking about. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't think it's a great movie. It's certainly not my favorite Texas Chainsaw movie. But what it is though, and what they do well is they make it graphic and gory and over the top. And when you can make something over the top and graphic and gory, when you settle in and you understand okay, I guess this is what this is, the substance and and all the other stuff, it just doesn't, you know what I mean? Because it clearly is just for this. And I don't think it's a very good movie, but I don't think it's not like an awful movie or anything like that. It's just more, I think the short runtime actually helped it. I think if it was like, say like 110 minutes
longer.
It probably wouldn't have bode well for it. But I just the kills alone are really, I think, the only reason to watch the movie.
The payoffs on them are great.
Right, because the story itself doesn't really go anywhere. It's sort of it really is just, we need to get a bunch of kids into a scenario for Leatherface to, kill them, which I know viewers will be thinking, well, isn't that every slasher movie? I get what you're saying, but this was very sort of one-dimensional in that way, and it is what it is, and like I said, it looks like
Texas Chainsaw Massacre film.
It looks like they shot on a back, but with Texas Chainsaw, with the original, there was even a little more to it because you had the family, and they brought her in, and you realize what kind of people they were, and I'm not saying it was a Shakespeare. This was. Like I said,
you could have gone back down that road again.
You could have.
Like that. Well, we don't know if Leatherface is alone. We don't know who's in the house. You know what I mean? We don't know. We don't know what's up with that. I mean, they're obviously leaving it open to interpretation there at the very ambiguous ending. We don't know who's in the house. Maybe there's family relatives in there.
Maybe there is.
We don't know.
We don't know.
So,
you could be right. We don't know. But like I said, it looks like it was shot on a back lot, and wherever they shot
it definitely
that
didn't have like a legitimate small town like what a
no
area looked like.
But
like,
shooting at that one location would have helped their production massively. It would have cut costs. It would have, it would have been it's so nice to, so easy to shoot in one location, essentially.
And
I know there was a couple other places, but
they filmed this during COVID too, right? So I'm sure they were confined to where they can and can't shoot.
That's true too. Yeah. No, it worked. It worked for what it was, for sure. Let's jump over. Let's get these super chats.
Super chats out of the way.
Real Reveal sends in $6.99, says, hi, Dave and Tony. I'm at work currently, so I will watch along for the second time when I get off work. I had a really good time watching this movie. Thank you, Real. Real follows up with $2.79 and says, be sure to stay for the after credits. Yes, we did. Thank you, Real. Appreciate that. Riker sends in $2, says, hello, is this for new Texas Chainsaw Guy movie? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And you follow up with, hello? We're here.
Hello.
We're here. It worked. It worked. Your $4 went through. Andrew Jones sends in $10. Thank you, Andrew. Says, hey, guys, big fan. Well, thank you very much. Do you think Netflix will dip its toe into some other franchises?
We got something that we might want to talk about on Monday about that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Not necessarily. It depends on. It would all depend on rights and a number of factors.
That's true.
But and on how successful this is. If you love this movie and you want there to be another one, well, you better make sure and you and your friends and your friends' friends and everybody else watch it 10,000 times, because on Netflix, that's how they'll judge how successful it is how many people watch it, how often people are watching it, for how long they're watching it for.
And the short runtime may help them with the views.
Yeah, it might. It might help people watch it, because I stand to be corrected on this, but I think Netflix counts a view if you watch something for I think it's 2 minutes or something like that. It's kind of silly at the end of the day.
We gave them at least a couple hundred tonight. So.
Yeah, well, there you go. So definitely, keep watching. Real Reveal again follows up with, says, my favorite kill has to be the cop scene in the start. And then he says, the only annoying thing was the Laurie Strode thing. I didn't think it was Laurie Strode. I get the parallels, but I think...
Definitely not as parallel, though, for sure.
No. It's
definitely not like the Laurie Strode, And I think that was smart. I think had they went down that road and she was more like Laurie Strode and she was the one that killed Leatherface, then that people would be making that comparison. But the fact that she came and literally got sawed and died, definitely not Laurie Strode.
Exactly. And it was... I just wish we would have had a little more with her.
Tad bit. Not much, but just a tad.
Just a little bit. Yeah. That's right. Riker says, Tony and Dave, what is your favorite horror killer? Well, mine would be Michael Myers.
Favorite horror killer?
I think talking about horror movie, I'd imagine.
I didn't know if you were meaning real life or something.
No, I think
that's a deep, dark question.
Yeah, horror movies, I take it as. Mine's Michael Myers.
Michael.
Michael and Freddy Krueger from the first two movies.
Yeah, Michael, Freddy.
Mm-hmm.
Sackhead Jason. I don't know. I like them all for their own uniqueness and how they were written.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, you can't go wrong with Michael.
Cool. Howard D sends in $5, says, finally got my It's Me, Billy Blu-ray. Yay! So glad to hear when people get it. And if you haven't gotten yours yet, don't worry. We haven't sent them all out yet. We've sent a lot of them, but there's still more to go. So if you haven't received yours yet, chances are we just haven't sent it yet. But we have, sent a lot, and it's great to see that people are starting to receive them. And he says, finally got my It's Me, Billy Blu-ray in the mail. I held off watching it until now, and it was excellent. Great job, Dave. So glad I could help out. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for the kind words. And you held off. How did you avoid spoilers? Maybe you didn't tune into those shows. But that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you for letting me know that you got it. Jordan Ellis sends in $4.99 and says, I think she went with them because she just wanted to make sure the lady was okay. Oh, that's right. We were talking about that earlier. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate that very much. Chiming in with that. Dark Light sends in $5, says, why did they drive slowly in neutral instead of speeding. A massacre just happened. The original 1974 ended with everyone running and speeding off. I guess at the end there, yeah, you would think that, well, I guess because they thought that he was dead.
Like a Tesla type electronic car too.
Yeah, and I think, she didn't.
I'm not saying it was a Tesla, but was that type of
something like that? And
that type of car.
They thought Leatherface was dead. So I think they had this false sense of security. Yeah, I think that's probably why.
I think the bitch got decapitated. Yes.
Probably, I know. Jordan,
I can rewatch that.
Oh, that's great. Jordan follows up with 1999. Thank you, Jordan. That's very generous. Says, I saw an interview with the director David Blue Garcia. That's his name. And he said the chainsaw that was used in this film, specifically for close-ups, is the exact chainsaw that was used in the original 1974 film.
So it wasn't
fascinating.
Modeled. Wow.
So I would like to.
I know where I got mine. I bought mine off of eBay.
Yeah, I would like to. I'd like to sort of see that interview and
like how did they get the actual one?
Yeah, not just one that looks like it or the same model from the same year.
Like what I have. Right.
Yeah, but the actual screen used one, because you could probably get a chainsaw from that era, but the actual one that was used in the 74 film.
No, I got the exact same one that was used in the 74 film. It's just not wasn't used. It's just the same model, same color, same.
That's what I mean.
Everything.
That's what I mean, right? So there's two ways to look at it. Like you could say, well, I have the same one that was used in the movie, but does he mean the same model, or does he mean like, no, literally the one that was used in the movie, like literally the same one? If we were to scan it for DNA, it would have Gunnar Hansen's DNA on it. Like that's what, if he means that, I'd be that's cool. That's really cool. I'd be curious to know where he got it. Kenneth Holmes sends in $10, says, a little off topic, Dave. I really think you could play Freddy and do the part justice in a studio film. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You really understand the character and your Freddy laugh is on point. Awesome show as always. Well, thank you very much, Kenneth. I really appreciate you saying that. If anybody ever wanted to do that, my phone is on. My phone is on. Let me scroll back here. Got the Kenneth one. And then, is it Kratos? Kratos War? Is that how you say that? Sends in $9.99 and says, hey, Tony, I sent you a link through Instagram for H4 on YouTube that was a 1989 broadcast with all the old commercials. Was wondering if you got a chance to see it. It's pretty cool and nostalgic.
If you're sending shit to my horror account, I'm not on there anymore. I have my regular general photography. That's where you can DM me that. I didn't see it. So if you sent it to my other, where I was doing horror pictures, I'm not on there anymore. So if there's messages there, which there probably are piled up, I'm just not on there. And I haven't logged into that in like forever now, like a couple months.
Okay.
So if you want to send it to the Anthony Michael pics,
the one that's below his,
the one that's below me right now. I'll check it out.
Cool.
For sure.
Cool. Riker sends in another $2, says, would you and Tony do Netflix's Fear Street watch? Maybe.
What is that? What's Fear Street? What is it?
Fear Street, those 3 episodes that were released last year. One was 1994, one was 1978, one was 1666, I think. I think you saw it.
Is it like no, I didn't see it.
You didn't? Because I thought you were talking about it.
Was I?
Yeah, Netflix. Maybe I did. One
Oh,
movie takes place in 94. One takes place.
You know what I saw? I saw the documentary that Netflix did. That documentary with like the horror movies they did.
Yeah, no, not that. Fear Street it's Google it and let me know if you've seen it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nate A sends in $5, says, my feed for the past few weeks have been filled with Joe Rogan and Canada truckers. The stream was a nice break from it. Well, that's good. I'm glad that we can help you out. I think I've got all the super chats so far.
Don't worry, guys. I busted Dave's balls at the beginning before
I think so.
Live.
I think I've got all the super chats. I do. Okay, so let's see. Richie Work says, I'm pretty sure that won't chainsaw that was using the movie is in the museum and have not I'm pretty sure I seen on YouTube video somebody that actually, I think I know what you're trying to say there. I don't know what museum that would be. Not really sure. I would tend to believe that somebody probably just has it in their garage or in their basement rather than being in a museum. Yeah, I would like to know definitely if it's just the same model or no, literally the same one. And I'm not saying it's not. It's entirely possible it could have survived all these years. Mike Johnston says, I also like the scene when Sally...
Johnson? Well then.
Mike Johnston.
My Johnson. I was like, well,
no. I also like the scene when Sally walks in his room. He has a look like he's taking a temporary break until he gets up again and goes after his intended targets. Yeah. I didn't mind that scene.
Old.
Yeah. And I like that. I like that they just allowed that moment to breathe, but it cost her. She didn't shoot. I really believe that Sally really wanted answers, I think. And she,
like, as to why this happened to me.
Yeah, I think
that's where I wish they would have maybe spent a little more time with her on, like you said, like not like 20 minutes longer, but
no, I get it.
A few more scenes of her just like, what did she go through? You
right.
know what I mean? Like what was,
right.
And like, maybe like she is wondering like, shit, why did this happen to me and my
right.
friends? What the fuck did we do to deserve this?
Yeah. Cause I think too, now we didn't get as much time with Sally as we have with Lori. But as I talked about on a video that I posted the other day, or a stream that I did the other day, one of the things that is so crucial and that I actually think is the most interesting part for me when it comes to Halloween Ends is how Lori is going to be now living with the fact that it was never about her, because Hawkins sort of totally blows her ego out the door in Kills by saying it was never about you. And, we have to remember that for 40 years, that was part of her identity. That was what she lived for. It was all about him. And that was who she was. She was the crazy Michael Myers lady. It's her identity for 40 years. So when you look at Sally Hardesty, although we don't get the same time with her to really figure out whether that was the kind of thing, there's a little bit of dialogue in there that you get the impression that this obviously has been a big part of her life. Maybe not as much as Laurie Strode, perhaps, but it's certainly been a big part of her life, because when she became part of she became a deputy or a sheriff or whatever, she spent a lot of years looking for him, because there's that line at the beginning of the movie when the guy's like, it's kind of hard to find somebody when you don't know what they look like, and so she definitely, it became a focus for her and very much part of her identity as well. We just don't know to what degree. So yeah, I mean, it's so when she was standing in the room, I do think that maybe she's wanted to know. Here it is. She's been waiting for this for 50 years. And now the time has come. And that's ultimately why I don't think she shot him, right away. But it cost her. It cost her life. And yeah.
In an epic way.
In an epic way. Although this is Hollywood and we didn't see her go like this.
Oh, I know, right?
I'm just saying.
Sally Hardesty, 0 deaths.
I'm just saying she was lying there. Yes, although the fact that the thing went through her torso, but the fact that she did that, and now she has a gaping wound and she's probably bleeding out everywhere. I'm just saying that
Sally Hardesty can't die.
Technically, she could come back. Okay, next Texas movie, it opens up. You hear. We cut in, it's a hospital room, and Sally is in the hospital bed. She's got a tube down her throat, bandages all around her and everything. And there's a doctor there, and there's a nurse, and the nurse is like, is she gonna survive, doctor? And he goes, barely. And then he answers, she survived! She survived! And then in the next hospital bed is that girl's sister, and she had her head reattached. Okay, she had her head.
Bullshit. Leatherface is putting that on his mantle. That's a trophy.
She had her head reattached, and the nurse is like, "Is she gonna survive?" And the doctor's like, barely.
I know this is gonna sound fucked up to say, and
barely.
And I don't mean any disrespect to the actress, but her death was really fucking gratifying. It really was.
No, well, of course it was.
I know that sounds
but
so
listen,
fucked up
but
to say, but
no, it doesn't. Because look, I'll tell you what. A lot of actors, and this is true, a lot of actors really love, when you're making a horror movie, especially one of, that has, like a slasher film, let's say. It is almost a badge of honor for many actors in a lot of ways to be able to be killed in a horror movie. And especially,
I said that all the time. Like, I would not want to survive. I want to be killed
it'd be
by
so
one
cool.
of these guys.
And depending on, and one of the first things a lot of actors will do when they are hired to be in a slasher movie or a horror, it's not necessarily a slasher per se, but a horror movie where there's people, getting killed, is if they know that they're not the main protagonist and they're going to die, they'll often skip to the part where, they want to know, how am I going to die? What am I going to die?
Right.
I mean, we had that with Malika and Shelby. I mean, they knew that obviously, okay, so it's a cast of 3, well, it's a cast of 5, but it's an ensemble of, not really an ensemble, but it's 3 ladies. Okay, well, we know that Victoria is the lead, essentially, and she's got to survive because she has, we're seeing
twist it and may have had her killed.
I could have.
That would have been an interesting
We definitely
twist.
could have done that. We definitely could have done that. And again, It's Me, Billy, for those of you that may not know, is only the first part of the story. So her arc is not complete yet, obviously. So if it feels abrupt to you, the ending, well, yeah, it's because it's not really the ending. But anyway, so, but one of the first things I know that Malika and Shelby did was like, how do we die in the movie? Like, what is it going to be? And obviously we gave Malika the on-screen death and we gave Shelby the off-screen death. And the reason why we gave Shelby the off-screen death was because we wanted to surprise people at the very end with her in the back of the car with the bag over her head. So we kind of, we didn't want to let you see her die. We just kind of wanted to let you go, did she, I think she died. Where'd she go? And it's like, where is she? We don't know where she is. And then boom, we hit you with that iconic shot. You know what I mean? But Malika loved her death. She had a blast. It was so much fun to shoot, and Brian was great, and it was intense. And again, It's Me, Billy's not the same kind of slasher movie as say Texas is. It's not really even a slasher film, but yeah, actors, if it's done well and you treat their characters with respect, and and you allow their characters to be killed in a meaningful way as well, they get a real kick out of it. So I have no doubt that the actress was like, no way, that's how I'm gonna die. Oh fuck. So they think I survive and then you hit them and my head that's so awesome. I guarantee you she would agree with you. Sure. 100%. It was great. Let me see here. Some more super chats came in. Riker sends in $2 and says, I heard your intro music on a TV commercial today. Really? You did? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, well, they could probably use it because we don't own it. So they probably got it from the same place that I got it. Danny Dank sends in $2, says, sequel pitch, bus victims' families seek revenge. Can you imagine? The victims of the people on the bus seek revenge. Yeah, I hope not, but you never know. Bear sends in $5, says, Dave, when I said he was 15, I was being sarcastic. Oh, I didn't mean to trigger you. You got serious about it. My bad. No, you didn't trigger me. Guys.
Dave, you got triggered.
I got triggered. I got triggered. I was
woke.
I went. No, dude, I was triggered.
You canceled yourself.
I was triggered. I was angry. I was angry. No, I wasn't triggered at all. I just didn't know where you got that info. So I always like to remind people that when you say something, if you're being serious about it, right, you have to, because you have to remember, folks, that when we're watching a movie, I'm half paying attention to the chat room. Exactly. So there might be something I see that there's context that surrounds it, but I don't see that. So I don't know if you were making a joke to somebody in the chat room, or if you were like, oh no, guys, I actually know why. He was 15. So I was like, oh, that's cool. But where did you get that info? Because I think it's important to let people know. Yeah, no, I wasn't triggered. You can't, don't throw that word around, because then it doesn't have meaning when people are really triggered, right?
No, it's nuanced, right?
Exactly. Like, come on. If I was triggered, I would have been like, dude. Is that what people do when they're triggered? I don't know. I have no idea. Jordan Ellis sends in, but thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Jordan Ellis sends in $9.99, says, go to Jake's Takes on YouTube and you'll find the interview where the director talks about using one of the used chainsaws for the film. Cool. I'll make sure to do that. And now he's got possession of it. Can't post link for some reason. Can't post a link. YouTube's probably something. Yeah, there probably something is with YouTube. I'm not sure. We'll see though. We'll see. In terms of why that is, I'm not sure. Sometimes you can post links, sometimes you can't. Could be just an update from YouTube. Thomas Cohn says Tony Moran was 15 and 78. He was not 15 and 78, but no, actually he was.
Tony Moran was Leatherface.
No. Tony Moran was Pinhead in an unreleased film where he was gyrating his hips and killing people with lasers. Listen, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
He was Leatherface.
He was. He was. Gunnar Hansen was only Leatherface at the very end, swinging the.
Well, not only was Tony Moran Leatherface in this movie, but Tony Moran was also the chainsaw as well too.
He was
Leatherface.
It was a practical effect. It was a practical chainsaw. Riker said. Riker sends in $2. Says favorite Bill Murray movie. Ooh, that's a good question. Jesus. I don't know. I mean, Stripes, Ghostbusters, Scrooge. But Ghostbusters is an ensemble, about Bob?
Right? I mean, it's not a Bill Murray movie. It's an ensemble.
No, I would say probably my favorite Bill Murray movie would probably be What About Bob? I think that's so fucking funny.
I was going to say that. Stripes, but Stripes is also kind of...
yeah, it is. You got John
ensemble.
Candy, Harold Ramis.
There's a few. And John, what's his name? Who narrates Chainsaws in this?
Yes, John Larroquette.
Larroquette, yeah.
Yep, that's right.
I was gonna say Caddyshack, but that's also an ensemble too.
It is. Yeah.
But I do like that performance, the Cinderella story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like that. I mean, Ghostbusters is Ghostbusters. You can't,
But he's a big
Groundhog Day was fun.
Yeah. What About Bob and Groundhog Day are probably my favorite Bill Murray movies. Like where he's the central star.
Correct.
Sure.
And it's not an ensemble.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Geeked Out Turtle Fan 41 says, Dave, have you or Tony seen the new Firestarter trailer, and what Stephen King movie would you want remade? I have seen the new Firestarter trailer. Tony, have you seen it?
Yeah, I'm not really interested.
No, I think it looks really good.
I can't cheat on my girl Drew.
I think it looks good. And John Carpenter and Cody Carpenter and Daniel Davies
did the score.
Did the score. Yeah, for those of you that don't know.
I think it looks pretty good. Score for something else here recently too. Carpenter did the main theme for something. I saw him posting on that on Instagram.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure.
Like a new movie. He did the main theme for it.
There was something.
I can't remember what it was.
Robert Kitzmiller sends into I think it was for the one with
the opening theme is what he did.
Yeah, I think it's for the who's the lead singer of the Foo Fighters.
Oh, right, the Dave Grohl movie. It looked. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That movie looks like they took everything from the TV show Supernatural.
Well, I
put it into a movie.
I know somebody who's knows somebody who's seen it, and they say it's not very good, but very bloody and gory. So if you want that, then you might enjoy it. Robert Kitzmiller sends in $2, says, any thoughts on the Nope trailer? I'm intrigued. I thought it was interesting.
That's the Jordan
Peele one, yeah.
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. Yes, that's the Jordan Peterson one. Hello, everybody.
I'm not knocking the guy. He's a genius. But
no, he's cool. Yeah. I would say
Peele. That's what I meant.
Jordan Peele, yeah. And I would say that
looks interesting.
I'm sold. I mean, it's essentially, it's our first trailer. So it's, for all intents and purposes, it's a teaser, I guess. And I consider me teased.
Yeah. It's got a Signs vibe to it, but
little bit. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it because I really liked Get Out, and I didn't like Us as much as I liked Get Out. So I didn't hate Us or anything.
Same.
But
I liked Get Out better than Us.
Same.
But Us was
all right. It's all right. So, I'm looking forward to Nope.
Not happening. Nope.
Not happening. Not happening.
Nope.
Not happening.
That's what they say when the aliens come. Nope. Not
That's
happening.
It. Reese Wilson. Nope. Reese Wilson says Bill Murray and Chevy Chase's scene together in Caddyshack kills me. Yes, Reese. Yes. Yeah, Caddyshack's great. Caddyshack's great. Riker sends in $2. Thank you, Riker, again. Appreciate that. Says, any opinions on Poltergeist 2015? That's my opinion there. I didn't really like it. No, I didn't really like it.
No.
Let me see here. Michael Myers says, thoughts on John Williams returning for the Kenobi TV show. Is he really? Is he scoring the Kenobi TV show? I didn't know that. I don't know. It's neither here nor there for me.
I may cave and purchase a package from Satan just because of the room. Just
Disney
because
Plus?
of the Satan. No, I call him Disney Satan. Because of the rumors that Hayden may be returning as Anakin.
Oh, he is.
Or Vader. So just because of that alone, because I've said it 1,000 times.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith, baby.
Love Revenge of the Sith. I'm a big fan of him as Anakin and as Vader, especially in Revenge. I know Clone Wars, it's kind of hit or miss for me, but definitely Part 3, Revenge of the Sith, I love. So for that alone, I may cave and buy Disney Plus just so that I can see the Kenobi series. And if it is 100% confirmed that he is in there, then
I believe he is. Yeah.
I don't think they're releasing those on iTunes. I keep checking to see if iTunes is going to get
Disney
any
Plus
of these,
only.
and they're not.
No, it's Disney Plus only. With that, the only thing I'm kind of wondering about is, I hate that they do, is that why is Kenobi and Vader, like, are they going to fight? Why?
I don't know.
I mean, because at the beginning of A New Hope, when they see each other, it's like, when I last you, I was but the learner, but now I am the master. Like, I don't know. I just feel it's kind of like, I don't want to, God, Star Wars does that though. You see, Star Wars does that a lot. They set things up and like, we got to go back and kind of make this true from a certain point of view. And it's like, oh, stop. I don't, you know what? I'm a Star Wars fan, like I said, but I don't.
When does it come out? Kenobi.
May 25th. I don't.
Oh, right around our birthday.
Yeah. I don't particularly care about what they're doing right now.
How much is Disney Plus? Is it $10, $20?
Probably something like, no.
I'm only going to get it for like a month just so I can watch
something like that.
Series.
And of course, Stranger Things is being released in season 4.
I keep forgetting about that show.
Stranger Things season 4 is being released in 2 volumes. So you have volume 1 being released on May 27th, I believe, and then volume 2. They're just breaking up the 4th, season.
Is this it? Are they done?
No, they're doing one more. It was announced they're doing
kids
one
like in their
more.
20s now?
No, the kids are 47 now.
Oh, okay.
And they are doing one more.
I honestly, I just think the momentum of that show is so gone that, like, because they let so much time go from season 3 to now, that I don't know. I don't know how these are going to do. I mean, obviously I will probably watch it just out of, curiosity, but
for sure. Well, and they've spent the most on it. It's the biggest season yet.
To be honest with you, I'm more anxious to see what happens in the final chapter. Do you watch the show, The Ozark?
I do not. I have not.
Dude, you have so got to watch that show. You and your girl. I'm telling you, you and your girl. She will love. It's just such a well-written. It's shot right up the road from me. It's Lake Lanier, Georgia.
Very cool. Nice.
The Ozark is such, and this where they've set up for the 2-part final season 4 here. I'm so like, I want to know what the fuck happens with certain characters and what's going to go down. But I'm telling you, dude, you and your girl will enjoy that show. It's a very, very, and it just, again, Jason Bateman doesn't get credit where credit is due. Because a lot of times people look at him and just think he's playing himself in a movie. When you look at like the one they did with your girl there, Melissa McCarthy, Identity Thief.
I love that movie.
Like, but he seems to play that type of role.
He does. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But in this show, he's got a little bit of that Jason Bateman charisma.
Sure.
But just like also very like fucked up at times too. And he just, yeah, man, like it's a really fucking good show, dude.
Right.
Like, seriously.
Yeah, no, I've heard really good things about it. And I've been wanting to check it out. I really like the Jason Bateman movie he was in with, was it called, The Gift? The Guest? The Gift?
Oh, The Gift. Yeah.
The Gift. That's a really good movie. My girl and I went to see that in the theater.
Himself beyond just the typical Jason Bateman, horrible boss, like that type of character arc that he plays a lot in a lot of his movies.
Yeah. I really like that one a lot.
Of course, let's be real. His best movie ever, which is the greatest movie of all time, is Teen Wolf 2.
100%. And his best character was when he was part of the Hogan family. I mean, I'm telling you.
Little House.
Oh,
I gotta go Little House.
He's
going
going
Little
deeper
House.
cut. I thought I had a deep cut. Tony went deeper.
Dude,
Tony went deeper.
Let me tell you something. Speaking
Tony
of that
went
era,
deeper. That didn't sound good.
I went. Speaking of deeper. Speaking of going deep in that era, the Little House on the. I somehow stumbled across a video that I wish I never stumbled across, but it just happens when it's late at night and you're on YouTube and you're like, well, okay, this looks intriguing, and it's about hygiene in the 1800s, dude.
It's not exactly something I want to look
I don't
into.
even know how we reproduce to get to where we are today. Okay. Because just the smells. And when they were talking about going to the bathroom and wiping themselves, they were using corn on the cob kernels. Like not the kernels, but like the
leaves. The leaves.
No, not the leaves, the thing.
The actual cob?
The cob, but without the corn on it. And that's what they would use. To wipe their tush with.
In what year was this?
In the 1800s. In the 1800s.
Wow. When was toilet paper invented?
It made me rethink my
hey Google
my love for wanting to live in the Wild West
era.
era. Because I totally appreciate modern amenities.
From the website toiletpaperhistory.net. The first modern toilet paper was made in 1391. Do you want a little more context?
1391. No. You got to
remember. You got to remember. These are.
I know what they're talking about.
The first settlers that are settling out in the West. You know, doing the Oregon Trail.
I wonder.
Man, the whole video. I'm just like, what am I doing here watching this?
So when they're eating corn on the cob, they know
they saved it so they can wipe their ass.
They can wipe the shit with it. Good night, everybody.
I mean, think about that. And then
crazy.
Families would share like the tub water. They would never change out the tub water, and it would just be the same water for like a month straight.
Right.
And body odor was just considered a thing to have. And I'm just like, man, like, how the fuck did we reproduce?
There's nothing like the great smell of a woman's body odor.
Well, no, I mean, like, because I've always had a romance charm with the Westerns in that era.
I thought you were going to say with body odor.
No, with that lifestyle. The
sure,
1800s.
Yeah, I get it.
I absolutely love it. I'll watch it. Like, I'm excited for Gina Carano's new Western movie that's coming out in June. Yeah. I'll watch any good. Tombstone's one of my favorite Westerns. But it does make me, as much as I love it and would have loved to experience that, I will say I appreciate modern amenities and hygiene and shit like that, because you think about that and you're like, dude, the stank must have been real.
It must have been. It must have been
real.
Okay. On that note, Riker sends in another $2. Says, do you compare Jordan Peele to Alfred Hitchcock? I do not. I think Jordan Peele's too. I get what you're saying. He's
innovative.
It's like
trying new shit.
It's like when M. Night came onto the scene, right? You know, but I think it's still too early to tell. Let's talk again in 20 years, see what his legacy will be. Fast Forwards 289 sends in $9.99. Says, great show as always, guys. Tony, my girlfriend is interested in photography as a professional. Can you give any advice on where she should start and what to do? Great question.
Shoot everything and anything, and don't say no, because let me tell you, look, the reality is only a certain percentage of photographers are going to, if you're going to make it to that elite level of shooting for Vogue magazine, Marie Claire and whatnot. And it's a tiny percentage. It's not a big percentage. And again, I'm talking about career, not just being an Instagram photographer and posting great pictures, but not making any money.
You're talking right.
Actually, like making money, making it a career. Don't say no. I've shot everything and anything from starting off doing baby photos, weddings here and there, getting into the corporate stuff, event photography, you name it. To now I'm doing real estate photography full time. I mean, my career has just gone like fucking a zigzag, but because I'm a photography whore, I won't say no. If you want to pay me to, well, no, I mean, if you want to pay me to do a job, I'll fucking do the job. You know what I mean? Like, I won't turn. But you have certain people who get into the game and want to become a photographer. And I don't know if it's the same in the voice acting world. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. They're doing it because they want to be cool. They want to be popular. They want to shoot the Vogue. They want to shoot the superstars and the celebrities. And like, if that's your aim, you might end up being disappointed because again, it's not about how talented you are, to be honest with you, because a lot of times the photos that you see in these magazines, they're not complicated shoots that they're doing. They really are. And the photographers who are getting those jobs, it's not based on talent. It really is who you know. It really, truly fucking is. And a lot of times nowadays, celebrities have their favorite photographers that they will say, well, yeah, I'll do your magazine shoot, but I want so-and-so to shoot me. You know what I mean? It's not like back in the day where editorial magazines like Vogue or Marie Claire and whatnot, like had their, their set staff of photographers and writers and so on and so forth. Nowadays, you've got like, except for what's her name? Leibovitz,
Annie Leibovitz, yeah.
Amy Leibovitz. I mean, except for her, like she's like the creme de la creme
she's been around
of this.
For decades.
Like she's the Ansel Adams of people, and lifestyle photography. Ansel is more obviously in the landscapes, which is where I'm getting back into doing more of that, which is really my roots of photography. But just, I'm sure like even Dave would say the same thing for voiceover stuff. Like take anything that never say no, because you don't know what doors that may open to, and you don't know. Like for me, I'm glad I had a real estate portfolio to begin with, because when COVID came, it changed my whole fucking career around. Had I not done that, I'd be fucked. I honestly would be fucked right now because I wouldn't have any work coming in. But because I had a couple of agents here and there and did work periodically, it was, good little supplemental income. I had a portfolio to work off with. And then I just went out and sold myself like a fucking hooker on Friday night and got work. So,
yeah. I mean, it's similar across the board in certain ways. I think you first have to figure out, do I want to pursue this as a career or as a hobby? And if you want to pursue it as a hobby, well, then you just, you go out and you take photos and you save a little bit of money, and maybe you invest in a Nikon or a Canon, and you learn about that kind of stuff.
The gear specs now, it almost doesn't matter. Any brand, they're going to be good.
Yeah. And maybe it turns into a career, but if you just want to pursue it as a hobby, but I think it's important to understand that, what are my goals and what do I want to do? Because if you don't know what to do, then you don't know where to align yourself, and you don't know the trajectory of your path. For me, I mean, I started out wanting to pursue on-camera acting. That's how I started. And I was...
Man, I hate being in front of the camera.
Oh, I mean, no, I don't.
Like, this is okay, but like, no.
No. But I and that was after college. That was the early 2000s, and I was auditioning for commercials and all that kind of stuff. And I did a couple commercials, a couple docudramas, and then I broke my teeth and I got into the voiceover because obviously I had to get my teeth.
I never heard this.
I was playing. Yeah, I think I've told you. I was playing.
Hockey?
But it was street hockey. I was playing with some friends, and it was getting late, and it was hard to see the ball. Last goal wins kind of thing, and I scored the goal, and the shaft of the stick came down across my teeth and broke my teeth. So I'm not all human, because this tooth right here is actually fake. I'm not all human. So there you go. But I got into the voiceover at that time, and I never looked back. Now I already had an agent. I knew that I wanted to pursue it professionally. And a lot of actors start, of course, doing commercials and that kind of stuff. And I'd love to go back to doing more on camera, actually. But I fell into the VO and I became very successful at that. But you just it depends, because if you're doing it as a hobby, like it's a little different with the performing side of things. But if I wanted to just be a hobbyist voice actor, well, then I would learn a bit about it, take a couple of workshops and whatever, and there's a lot of online portals where you can audition for things and all that kind of stuff. But if you want to pursue it professionally, well, then you got to look into sort of agents and managers and because you're doing it at a bit of a different level. And so maybe even take a photography class, a reputable photography class, and learn about the gear and the, all that kind of stuff too.
Pre-COVID, I would have said, try everything and anything. And I still think you should try everything and anything.
Sure.
You like, for me, I probably could. Well, I could. No, not probably. I know I could get back into doing event photography if I chose to get the vaccination. I'm just choosing to not take the vaccination. So that's limiting me to what I can do to get income in. So I that's where the real estate photography thing. If I took the shot, I could totally be down there in Atlanta doing all the, but that's my choice. You know what I mean? So I'm not blaming. I'm not like, oh, woe is me. No, I made the decision. I had to live with that decision that I'm making for myself.
Right.
So as long as she's got, you know, the requirements that are probably going to be needed now, and now in the post-COVID era, I would just tell her, man, try everything and she'll figure it out. Like I did. Like I knew, like within the first month of doing a couple of family portraits and babies, I was like, yeah, I ain't got the patience for this. They moved on, you know, and tried something else and then came down to Georgia after I left Connecticut, and tried some more shit. And
I think
until I found my groove.
Yeah.
You know?
I think what's important too is to, you know, just, as Tony said, but also on your own, take as many photos as you can, go out for hikes, take photos, and really learn about lighting and composition. And because what's really important too is that you're going to want to find your style. You're going to want to find who you are as a photographer. What makes you you? What makes you different than other people? One of the things I always say to people too who are interested in pursuing voiceover is that the last thing the voiceover industry needs is another voice. They have millions of them, but they may not have you. So what makes you different? And I don't mean doing different voices. I just mean what do you bring that maybe other people don't? And you know, that's a journey. That's a process. That's something you may not know right now. It might come in discovering that, you know? So I think it's important to discover who you are as a photographer and what makes you you. What's your style? Are you a landscape photographer? Do you want to get into commercial photography? Do you want to take wildlife, you know, pictures? Like who are you and what's your style, you know? And that really sometimes comes with just getting out there and figuring all that out.
I think that's what I love about the Instagram account that I'm shooting, you know, for those of you who follow me on it now, the type of photography that you're seeing me do is the shit that I was doing as a kid. You know, like I was never into like, which is popular. And I'm sure Dave, you've seen this, you know, the Toronto city photography, and they all have the same type of editing style, very moody. And, you know, it just seems like they're all using basically the same presets. And it's just like one photographer. If you like that one, then you're going to get 5,000 other, you know, on your recommendations that, oh, you might like this. You know, and I've never been like that. I've always liked shooting the country, you know, country lifestyle. That's been my thing. And I've never edited my photos to look like, well, unless it's film. And then I let people know that this is actually film that I developed. I don't edit my pictures to look like what everyone else is doing on social media. So what Dave said is extremely fucking important, because your girl can fall trap into like, well, I want to do what everybody else is doing, all the cool presets and stuff, and look, you know, shoot the city stuff. And, you know, you got the one individual in the middle of a road staring the opposite direction. I don't know why, but they are, but apparently that's cool. Right. Well, I mean, just saying how many,
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing
on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So that's why I like doing what I'm doing, because nobody's fucking doing it. And I've got this whole fucking landscape out there for me to, it's a fucking field day. And I just find something that and it's what I like. That's like what you said. That's really important, because I don't want to do what other people are doing just because it's fucking cool to do. I want to shoot shit that is intriguing to me, that I know I can, you know, create a nice composition and, you know, share it on Instagram for those people to like it. So that's a valuable advice to give to that girl, because you can easily fall trap into like, well, I want to have a lot of likes. Well, that's cool, but are a lot of likes paying the bills?
Yeah. Well, you have to, it's passion, right? It's passion. Right. All right, here, let's, you want to take this thing to just like another 10 minutes, call it a day?
That's fine.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, because we've only been on for like, oh, well, actually,
no, it's been on for over 2 hours.
Well, we started late. Yeah.
We started late. So we'll take it another 10 minutes and then we'll call
10
it.
minutes. Yeah, that's good.
Fast Forwards 289 sends in 9. Oh, no, I already read that one. That's the one I read. Howard D sends in $5, says, Hayden is officially cast in the show, Tony. I believe Anakin and Obi have one last confrontation in the show before they meet again in episode 4. So that should be interesting. Very and then a lot of corn on the cob emojis there. I love it. Reese Wilson sends in $14.99, says, I'm a big fan of Westerns too, Tony. Do you like the old, I know how to pronounce this.
Sergio Leone, excuse me.
Sergio Leone.
Yeah,
spaghetti,
films like The Good, the
spaghetti,
Bad, and the Ugly, and Once Upon a Time in the West. Those are some of my favorites.
The old spaghetti westerns, the Clint films. Those are cool.
Yeah.
My dad was more into those. He always had those. That's where my interest in westerns began, because my dad always would have the spaghetti westerns on, and the John Wayne movies. Obviously, a lot of Duke. My grandfather too was a big Duke fan.
Yeah.
And then I found my own niche.
John Wayne,
with it
for those of you that don't know.
Along the way with movies like Tombstone and Django and whatnot.
Yeah.
Where I feel, and Unforgiven
is amazing.
Great movie. If you've not seen that, watch that.
Yeah.
And then Costner did a good version of Wyatt Earp as well too. The 80s, was kind of hit and miss. Young Guns. I love fucking Young Guns. Young Guns too as well too. We don't get enough westerns anymore, so I always appreciate the Gina Carano movie coming out here soon. When they do one, I always appreciate it, because it's a lost genre. Definitely by the time the 70s were done, they weren't really doing westerns in the 80s anymore. Then Clint sort of brought it back in the 90s. You got a couple in there, but yeah, the spaghetti westerns were fun. What's his name hits on it a little bit in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood there. Quentin
Tarantino?
Quentin, yeah, a little bit. You get with the DiCaprio character, he plays in some of those spaghetti westerns, which I believe a lot of Tarantino style came from a lot of those, old spaghetti western films and whatnot. That's how he was able to figure out his voice and his filmmaking style and whatnot. So yeah, those are cool. Do you like spaghetti westerns? Are you a fan of them?
I've watched them. I mean, I don't mind them. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan. I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the genre, but I certainly am not a fan of the genre. Yeah, they're fine.
The one area of westerns I struggle with a little bit, and maybe as I get older, I'll appreciate them more, especially the ones like my father watched a lot of, like those old black and white ones, like from the 50s, when westerns basically were ruling the fucking world.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to really find my interest in that. I appreciate them because I remember my dad watching them all the time, and maybe as I get older, I'll appreciate those and watch those old, western films that are in black and white. But yeah. We need a good horror western. Do we have a horror western?
Probably. Somebody in the chat could probably say something.
Someone in the chat's going to give me one.
Fast Forwards 289 says, appreciate the advice, guys. I know my girlfriend does too. Looking forward to your show Monday night. Well, thank you very much, Fast Forwards 289.
It's going to be a good what if.
Appreciate that. Wolfie P17 says, hey, Dave, what's your favorite TCM movie? I would probably say the 2003 remake.
Mine would be the original.
The original? Yeah. I don't
And
mind
then
the original, but I have to watch the original, I think, more and see how I feel about it. But I'll probably say the remake, probably. But yeah. Richie Work says, I honestly would like to see Freddy with a different personality, but being Freddy at the same time as we like. I want Freddy dark and scary. I
haven't seen the Mandalorian yet, guys, because I don't have Satan. I'll have Satan in
it's Disney Plus
in June, or May when Kenobi comes out. So maybe because Carano's in it, and the only reason why I'd watch it is because of her.
She's in it for a little bit, and then she's not.
And then she's gone
because she got fired.
Oh yeah, that's right. Then I'll stop when she leaves.
Okay, there you go. The Batman. Hey, the Batman comes out in March.
I know. I'm getting excited.
Batman.
I'm trying to keep my composure, but I got such good feelings about this movie. I really do. From what I've seen and just everything I've been. I just look.
I know
Batman for right now, but I know I got a feeling that's going to change.
I know a couple people that have seen it already, and early press screenings.
Good stuff.
They haven't said anything. I haven't asked because I don't think they're allowed to say yet. The review. I mean, they could probably tell me privately. I just haven't asked yet. Maybe I'll ask because I actually am really curious. But I think the official embargo releases next week, I think, or the week after, the 28th or something like that, or the 24th or 5th or something. So we'll know soon enough, but
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm looking. I mean, you know what? It's
That's gonna be
Batman.
no. That's I'm sorry. I was gonna say that's gonna be the first time I went back to the movies, and I forgot. Nope, I went and saw Spider-Man. That's right.
Spider-Man does whatever spider can, spins a web,
Actually, I think
and it's
those two-
catches
I think-
thieves just like that flies. Hey
If I'm
now,
not mistaken, I think
comes Spider-Man.
Spider-Man comes out on digital right around the same time the Batman's.
It
released,
might be.
like within like a couple of days of each other.
What would you have done if you went to see Spider-Man Far From Home, right? Yeah. And you're
Something
in
like
the and you're in the theater and you literally hear at the beginning of the movie, you hear this, like exactly like this. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can, spins a web and his eyes, catches thieves just like flies. Hey now, here comes Spider-Man.
I would have done this and looked at my brother and been like, really?
In the still of night.
That's what I would have done.
And then there's no words. He actually goes,
And then it goes into the 1960s Adam West Batman theme. Batman.
Right. Oh,
Right?
Howard D says no way home. He says it in big capital letters like no way home.
Far
All
from
right.
home.
My apologies.
Oh, that's actually
My
part
apologies.
2, I think.
That's part 2, is it? Oh, okay. But can you imagine Spider-Man does whatever Spider can, and everybody, all these Marvel fans are sitting in the theater going, what? What's going on? Is this serious? Catches thieves just like flies. Hey now, here comes the Spider-Man.
We may have
Spider-Man.
to extend this stream a little longer because I wanted to ask you this.
Oh no.
No, I got into it with a Marvel fan this week. Look,
Oh.
and I think you're going to agree with me because of where I'm coming from. Because this is true. The debate was, what I said was, as great as all these Marvel, like what Spider-Man's doing in the box office, what the Avenger movies are doing in the box office, they're all great. And I'm not discrediting their success. My argument with this individual was that they're never going to have, because you lived through it. We were both old enough. We both lived through this, and people in the chat room who are old enough to remember it, whether you liked the movie, whether you liked the song or not, you could not escape the cultural impact that Titanic had that these Marvel movies will never get to, ever. And it was one movie. It's not like they had like 30 fucking movies afterwards that they were doing with Avengers and the Iron Mans and Thors and Captain America and all that shit. It was one movie that owned the world. Like, not even just our country, the fucking world. Like, the song was on the radio. It was in pop culture lexicon. And like I said, you don't have to like Titanic, but you can't minimize the impact, and we'll never see anything like that again.
I think
that's not true because with Marvel.
Well, I think
I'm not.
Okay. The next time you get into a back and forth with somebody about that kind of thing, I think what it comes down to is the much larger topic of relative and perspective. So I think you're right, Tony, first of all, and I can see what he's saying, but at the same time, you are correct. And because the industry changes as a whole, and you know, like, first of all, okay, so let's look at some facts. So Titanic became the highest grossing movie in motion picture history, the first movie in motion picture history to cross $2 billion at the worldwide box office.
In its original run.
In its original run. And it was one movie, 3 hours long, which is, that's, you know, remember that too, it's 3 hours long. And of course, yeah, the song by Celine Dion. Good
old Canadian girl.
Canadian,
right?
French Canadian. Yeah, it was absolutely huge. But it was 1997, 98, and it was a very different world then in terms of the, you know, movies. And then of course, you know, because like technology, what's happened with blockbuster movies, technology expands exponentially. And what that means is that for those of you that don't know what that means that we are gaining more and more technology faster and faster and faster. And that seems to kind of be happening in a similar way with blockbusters, whereas now in shorter periods of time, movies are making more money and getting bigger and bigger, and we're being inundated and saturated and boom, boom, boom. So to somebody who has grown up with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, absolutely. It would feel that way. And there's point to be made there too is that the MCU is the highest grossing nowhere in cinematic history.
I'm not discrediting that.
And I'm not saying you are. I'm just adding a bit of sort of the overall thing. Sure. Whereas it is nowhere in history has a series of 22 films ever been made and that have followed, one continuity and has grossed as much. It is the highest grossing series in motion picture history. You have Endgame, which, one of the biggest movies of all time. And certainly there's something to be said about that. But what is interesting to remember is that Titanic did it at a time when it wasn't commonplace.
No.
It wasn't, that just wasn't.
And people talked about that movie.
Of course.
Liked it or not, hated or liked it, it was talked about.
It's kind of like how and I was going to upload a video talking about this, but after watching the Elvis trailer, obviously, for those of you that don't know, and I'm not going to get into a big thing, but I'm just going to say that it depends on your age, but even though Elvis died before our time.
Our age.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. He died 2 years before we were born. He died August the 16th, 1977.
42.
He was 42. And Elvis has always been and will always be a huge part of my life because of my father.
Same.
And
that's fucking crazy. That's same.
Well, it's true.
My mom.
Well, it's true. But my dad, because of his job, he was going to meet Elvis the year Elvis passed. And then, of course, in the late 80s, my dad created the Elvis Sighting Society. It was a joke. Well, it was a charity, but the joke was that Elvis was alive and well, because people who are not old enough may not remember that after Elvis died, there was a big thing about Elvis faked his death to get away from it all and all this kind of stuff. And people literally, it was all over the news in the 80s. People thought they saw...
that was the thing. Elvis sightings.
Yeah, exactly. So in the late 80s, my dad created this big thing, so big that the Jerry Springer Show heard of it and got my dad on the show. This is before Jerry was a lunatic show. Yeah, it was a normal show. And I have it. I'm going to upload it eventually. I have it. My dad was on the show, and my dad had his buddy who called in pretending to be Elvis. Sounds exactly like him. And Elvis was a huge part of my life growing up. And so I know a lot about him, and my dad knows a lot about him, obviously, because of my dad's job and all that. And watching the Elvis trailer, again, it's a matter of perspective. Elvis is kind of like a caricature now. Younger people today might think, when you think of Elvis, think of fat Elvis in a white, jumpsuit going, and that's what people think. But
can I just piggyback off that really quick? Because if people look at the Omaha show he did on June 19th of 77, if you watch that show, he's a little pudgy in the stomach and a little bit full in the face, but he's not that out of shape.
No.
If he lost about 15,
for sure,
20 pounds,
for sure,
he would be back at 73, alive from Hawaii, Elvis, and in great shape. And I get what you're saying. That's what always pisses me off.
Well, it's a lot of, I think what it is too, is that they
turn him into that character.
He was on a lot of medication and he was bloated. I get that. He was bloated too, right?
Yeah.
And he looked awful, especially from where he came from.
Yeah.
And
I'm not saying he looked great, but he wasn't like this, super fat guy. Like people believe me, there's a lot worse out there that I've seen. No.
But Elvis was so big that he became that, later on, of course, there's a certain sort of image and caricature. But the thing that we have to remember is that when Elvis sprung onto the scene in 1955, nobody had seen anything like it. Now, let me preface this also by saying I do understand that there are two camps. Yeah, there are two camps. There are those that feel Elvis stole black music, because that's what it was called way back then, right? The blues, the rhythm, all that kind of stuff. Right. But we have to remember that Elvis was born in Tupelo, Mississippi, and he hailed from Memphis, Tennessee. He was a Southern boy. He grew up with that music.
In a Baptist church.
I don't necessarily think Elvis stole the music. It was what he knew, and he used it to his advantage. Sure, of course, with the moves and everything. And also we have to remember, hey, as a heterosexual man, I'm comfortable enough in my sexuality to say this, because it's a reality. The dude was fucking sexy. I mean, let's be honest here. But I'm just saying, you look at him.
If I could look like young Elvis, I'd be happy.
That's what I'm talking about. Elvis was stunning. He was so
very
handsome.
Distinguished looks.
Very distinguished. A really handsome guy. So, he was marketable in that way. Okay. So now what Elvis did was, it's not that rock and roll, rock, rhythm, blues didn't
Gospel.
exist, didn't exist before Elvis. But what Elvis did was he brought that music to the masses, to the white people, if you will, right? He brought it to the masses. Nobody had seen, and when Elvis's first song, which I don't know if it was his first song or one of his first songs. That's all right, mama. That's all right. Yeah. People thought he was black. When people heard him on the radio, they just assumed, well, he's this black guy. And they found out he was white. It was like, oh, this is a little white kid from fucking Tupelo, Mississippi or whatever. And it was the perfect storm. Anyways, I'm getting to my point here, okay? And we're going to get back to Titanic and all that here. But it's important, right? And what people don't understand, and I wouldn't have understood it either if it wasn't for my father, is I was able to learn a lot from my father, who was 13 years old when Elvis sprung onto the scene. Yeah. But you have to remember, there's 55,000 Elvises now. Now, what do I mean by that? Superstars. There's 55,000. We're desensitized. There's so many superstars now. In 1955, there wasn't. And
all those goofy, silly voices you do during this stream, if you did that on TikTok, you'd have 1 million followers by next week.
Oh, well, 100%. But it was, and again, it's not that there weren't, popular singers before. Of course there were, right? You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that, and I realize I'm doing the Cliff Notes version of this, but it's important to remember to have perspective that at that time, there just wasn't anybody like Elvis Presley. I mean, people, they showed him from here up on Ed Sullivan because he was gyrating his hips. I mean, think about the world we lived in, at that time, right? And to this day, he's been dead for nearly 40, he's been dead for 45 years. He's been dead for 45 years. And he is still to this day the best-selling solo artist in music history with over 1 billion sales. Not Michael Jackson, not Mariah Carey, Elvis Aaron Presley. Still to this day, the #1 worldwide best-selling albums of all time, and the dude's been dead for 45 years.
There'll never be another Elvis. They'll never have another impact like that.
The point it's just, and at that time it was like, oh my God, right? This was before the British invasion. This is 1955 to 19, and it was unbelievable. Elvis hysteria. And I don't think people today, not everybody, truly understand what it was like, because there wasn't 50,000 of them. So getting back to sort of the Titanic MCU thing, I can understand what this guy's saying, but you have to remember that it's almost more impressive nearly 30 years ago to do it.
Sure.
Right? I mean, in 1997,
talking about this movie.
One movie.
It's
not, it's like, what the hell is everybody flocking to see? It's not a superhero movie. It's a love story. Yeah. It's a love story, and it's like, what
and you
the
pretty
hell
much,
is...
and here's the thing.
And you know how the movie's going to end. Right.
Right. You know the ship is going down.
Right.
So
you know how the movie is going down.
It's not like you're going to get spoiled here. And for what it did, and that was my argument with him, was like, look, for what it did, you're never going to see that type of a global impact from a movie ever again, because we're so saturated with I'm not discrediting what Spider-Man No Way Home did. It did great. But it's not going to have that global impact. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
Where Titanic, everybody at my grandparents were talking about it. Kids my age our age, because we were the same age. My parents' age were talking about it. Everywhere you went, you saw in the stores, I mean, think about it. It's easy to sit there and sell an Iron Man toy, okay, because you expect that. They had Titanic toys and Titanic merchandise. Like it was so insane that you wouldn't think of it from a movie, like Dave said, a love story movie about a ship sinking.
Yeah, it's a different era, and that's why I wanted to use the Elvis analogy too, because when I was watching the trailer, it was bittersweet for me, because I was like, oh, and look, does the guy look exactly like Elvis? Well, no. But he looks...
Good voice, though. if it's his.
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But he, the essence is there, at least enough that I'm sure I'll be able to get lost in the film.
Yeah.
And
You're never going to get someone who looks
no,
just
but there's
like
one
Elvis.
guy. Do you remember in the early 90s, there was that television show called Elvis? And there was a guy by the name of Michael
Yeah, I know
St.
who you're
Gerard.
Yeah.
He looked like Elvis, like his natural look.
Right.
Probably the closest I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, he's 61 now, so you can't get him. But that's the point, is that my dad, would teach me, he'd say, Dave, people don't understand. That's why people say before Elvis, there was no one. Not that there was literally no one. Of course, there were people before Elvis, but it's the contrast from where music was mainstream wise, right? And where Elvis brought it at that time, and it was just, I mean, you talk to the Beatles, you talk to, Buddy Holly and a lot of these legends that came up through the 50s and the 60s, and who they looked to, and who was it's Elvis Presley. I mean, he was beyond anything we'd ever seen. And here's another fact that a lot of you may not know. Elvis Presley, in his entire career, and there's reasons for it, which they might go into the film, which I hope they do. Elvis Presley, in his entire career, only performed outside of the United States 3 times. And it wasn't even outside of North America. It was here in Canada, once in Vancouver, once in Toronto, and once in Montreal. No, excuse me. Vancouver, Toronto, and Ottawa. Vancouver, Toronto, and Ottawa. He never performed anywhere else around the world. Think about that.
Except for Hawaii. That's the only time he went off the mainland.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the U.S., right? Yeah. He's never, he didn't go to Europe. He wanted to, but his manager was like, and there's reasons for that, which again, I hope they get into the film.
Yeah, the Colonel.
Exactly. But think about that. The guy, he's a worldwide phenom. One of the biggest, if not the biggest cultural icon of the 20th century. And he never left the U.S.
It's going to be interesting to see where his legacy will be when you and I reach our 70s and 80s, because I shocked a lot of people the other day when I shared that on my Instagram stories, my excitement for the trailer. Like, they're like, dude, I didn't realize you were into Elvis. Like, first of all, like, my vinyl collection, the most that I have from an individual is Elvis, that, and it's a combination of like records that my father has given to me, my mother as well too, because my parents may not have had a lot in common, but Elvis was definitely one of the common denominators, because there wasn't a week in my house, whether it was at my mom's, or when we were with my father on the weekends, where Elvis music wasn't being played. That's how much of an impact he had in my household. Of course. Which led to me, obviously collecting his records and, just always listening to his music. So when I saw this, and I'd heard that they were doing something, I didn't realize they had done it. I thought it was something that was, so when the trailer dropped that was like such a huge surprise. And I was just like, no way. And so like all of a sudden now, and then I'm like, sharing it with my dad and my mom, because it became more of a personal thing, because there's that connection that I have with my parents.
That's how I felt.
With this artist,
it was
you know what I mean?
Sad. I wanted to share it with my dad. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just, it's, no, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, watching the trailer, I was looking at it through a bit of a different lens, because I was like, I wonder if how my dad would feel about this. Because my dad, like, he was an expert on it. Like I said, he almost got to meet the guy. My dad's met so many people. And to him, like, his Harrison Ford was Elvis Presley. And for people who don't know, my favorite actor is Harrison Ford. But anyway, my dad's met a lot of people in his career. Like I said, I often say this, I have photos of my dad with the Beatles, Robert Kennedy, Burton Cummings, Liberace, John Candy. My dad's met a lot of people throughout his career, but he never got to meet Elvis, but he came this close. And I think that's probably part of the reason why he started the Elvis Sighting Society, is kind of a fun thing to do. And then and my dad was such a great actor that he played it straight, like, oh no, it's serious.
Who's playing Priscilla? Do you know?
I don't know who's playing Priscilla. I'm not sure, but I'm sure it's on IMDb.
I know her. Yeah, sure I don't know if I know her from something else, but
but yeah. So
of course, that's a in 2021.
Oh well,
that's a very sensitive topic to 100%. Because she was a minor, and I get that, but at the time it was a different time.
Yeah. Well,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's just that it's about perspective and it's relative, right? If you're 25 years old right now, you didn't grow up through Titanic and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, it's like E.T., Jurassic Park, Jaws. I mean, Jaws was the first movie to cross $100 million at the box office in 1975. I mean, you know, that people have to understand that it's like, it's hard to understand because you have to think about it within its context. You know, both things can be true. But sometimes you can analyze things and go, but which is probably the more impressive or the more sort of impactful based on a set of criteria. And, you know, Avengers Endgame or any Avengers movie cracking $1 billion right now, that's not impressive. That's the norm now. You know what I mean? So it's not, you know, I'm not saying it's not impressive at all. I mean, any movie makes $1 billion. Holy shit, it's $1 billion. But that's what you expect. So it's because that's the era we're in now. Whereas if a Marvel movie comes along and suddenly cracks $4 billion, then you're going to be like, whoa. And then you'll be the generation that goes, I remember when the fuck that thing came along. And you know what I mean? It's just, but Titanic, $2 billion and 98.
Yeah. Titanic and what it did, and why I say it's the last of that is because Titanic for us as young teenagers or middle teenagers when it came out, 16, 17, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
When it came out,
97, we were 18.
That was like, it was like what Star Wars did. It was like what Jaws did. You know what I mean? It was that type of a global culture and cultural impact. Yeah. And of course, having Celine Dion's song, Like It or Not, you know, it was always every hour on the fucking hour. If you turned on your radio, in which we you know, back in the day, we didn't have Spotify and all this shit. It was the radio.
Yep.
You were going to hear that fucking song. And then not only were you going to hear that song, then it got to a point where you were going to hear that song where they accompanied movie clips
for sure
with the song as well, too.
Yeah.
And it was
for sure.
Like,
it was huge.
It was definitely, you know, and I often wonder because, you know, not that DiCaprio wasn't already popular. That just sent him
semi-popular.
He went into fucking orbit.
Of course.
And I often wonder if he never took that role, what it would have done. And I still think he probably would have gone with what he has been doing since, which is more the independent route. Mm-hmm. He's not really into doing, which is why I don't think we've seen him in the comic book world. I don't think he wants to.
Well, he just wants to do other stuff. Well, and he doesn't need to either. I mean,
no,
you know,
he doesn't. But it just like, again, I wasn't. And if you're someone who's more of the fan of the Marvel movies in the chat room, I'm not discrediting it. But like Dave said, now we're so inundated and saturated with these movies that when one of these movies breaks $1 billion, it's like, oh, okay, you know, I kind of expect.
Well, that's
you almost expect it to happen.
Of course, because that's the era we're in. It's not that the MCU.
Now, I will say I didn't expect Spider-Man to do as well as it did, but I think at the same time,
it also doesn't have a lot of competition either.
That's the other thing too. Yeah. It doesn't have a lot of competition, but at the same time,
and you've got Toby and Andrew.
That's what I was gonna say, because of Toby and Andrew. Let's be honest. That's it. It's the perfect storm, because if Toby and Andrew were not in it, forget it. This movie's not making $1 billion.
No, of course not. No. Well, it might make $1 billion, but it wouldn't make what it's made.
It would scratch its way to $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know, it cruised its way into $1 billion.
You know, it's always important to have. So yeah, the Elvis film is going to be interesting to watch. You know, but it's hard. You know, I get it. I mean, if you're young and you didn't grow up in that era, you know, you know, when you think of Elvis, like you've heard the name, and you probably think of him in the white jumpsuit, and you probably think of him going, you know, but really, like, to really understand who he was and where he came from and what he did is there almost hasn't another person like it.
Not the white jumpsuit per se, but for those in the chat room, if you have not listened to an album,
the 68 special,
that would be, if you want to listen to Elvis at his absolute fucking best. I'm talking from start. Because he's not just in the white suit; he's in a leather suit.
He's a black suit,
black leather suit, which you
see there's
that in the trailer. Trailer.
Yeah. 68 comeback special.
His by far. I mean, I love the Hawaii. I love That's the Way It Is. Those are great shows. But his 68 comeback special, if you've never watched
just YouTube it. You can find it on YouTube.
YouTube it and watch it, and you'll. I think if you're an appreciation of music in general, you will appreciate what that dude did in that show. And he went in there and he kicked ass.
And that's him coming back from the army. You know,
and doing movies.
Well, and films too. Yeah, because he did a lot of films that just weren't very good.
You know, you think about that. If he never got into doing that shit and stuck with music, what he would have done throughout the 60s.
I know. He did a lot, and still think about that to this day, the #1 selling solo artist in music history. 45 years after he's dead.
And he missed like half of his prime, literally.
Yeah, it was about 5 years there where he was doing movies and in the army.
Yep.
I mean, it's difficult in the 50s and 60s. You know, we're not talking about now where there's social media and you can be relevant taking a shit for 5 years. I mean, you know, it's insane. It's insane. Anyway, last one here.
You know what? Forrest Gump got it right. He did teach Elvis how to dance.
Forrest Gump did it. Well, hey, you got Tom Hanks in the movie.
I was going to say, you got Tom Hanks playing the Colonel.
Nate A says, Michael Jackson biopic, surprised it hasn't happened. It'll happen. There's a lot of legalities and they have to figure out the right way to approach it because of all the controversy around it. And you don't want to, you don't want to shy away from the controversy, but you also don't want to, because it's so polarizing. You know, people feel this about him, other people feel this about him. They've got to figure out how to do it.
If you're going to do Michael, okay, I wouldn't worry about the backstory. We know where he comes from with the Jackson 5, and there's already a great VH1 movie that they did years ago, the Jackson American. No, that wasn't VH1. I think it was just replayed on VH1 all the time. But that was a good. Have you seen that? The Jackson American Dream.
No.
It's really good. It's like a 2-part miniseries or whatever. It's years ago. I think it was actually on network television. Then VH1 picked it up and then did like the TBS thing and played it like all the time, like Shawshank. Mm-hmm. Really good. I wouldn't focus on the backstory. I would focus on Michael in the 80s from Off the Wall. And really, I would focus in on him creating Thriller, which ultimately became his, you know, that was his big baby. That
was his big baby.
And everything he did with Thriller, how he innovated MTV and creating the videos and all that stuff like that. That would be the area I would probably focus the most on in a biopic with Michael. If you were going to stay away from the controversial stuff. You know what I mean? If you didn't want to get into the kid thing or, you know, whatever, and, you know, all that nonsense, focus in on, you know, really where he was at his peak in the 80s. And you sort of eliminate the backstory, which it wasn't easy, you know, and that's where I'm wondering
with his father and everything.
Yeah. What I was going to say with the family and, you know, his father being who he was and whatnot. And again, like you said, the legality side of it, like who owns the rights to telling the story of
it's not just that, it's because of the polarizing, you know, I mean, I don't care what side you fall on with, he's completely innocent. No, he fucking was doing shit he shouldn't be doing with kids. That's a big part of Michael Jackson's life.
It is. And do you want to tell that?
That's you want to tell that? And if you do, you can't, you know, you have to be unbiased.
Yeah, you can't.
You have to, you have to tell it like it is. And, you know,
that's why I'm thinking the safe play would be just to focus in on the 80s and then you avoid
maybe
it.
Just,
what I was going to ask you is I don't know when it comes to storytelling, which is why we're probably never going to get a true biopic with Nirvana because fucking the bitch owns the rights to Nirvana. Pisses me off. Anyways, that's another sensitive subject. But the Jackson 5 part of Michael's life, I don't know if that's like something that we're like all the brothers have a right to say on how that narrative or that story is told, or the parents. I don't know how that part of his life, Michael's life, you know, how that can be told. You know what I mean? I don't know, like, is there any legal steps that they have to go through?
Oh, I'm sure there would be.
Once you get to the 80s and he's on his own, then all bets are off. You don't need to worry about that part. But it's almost impossible to sidestep the Jackson 5 because of what the Jackson 5 did and you know, Michael breaking onto the scene at such a young age. And that's where you get into that, like you said, the whole legal side of it, like who's got that final say on the creative control, because everyone's probably going to, you know, Jermaine, Tito, I don't know the rest, but you know, the brothers are going to want to have some type of an input.
Yeah, it's a big thing. They'll do
part of it.
Oh, they're going to do it. They will one day do it. He's too big not to do it. But it's, you know, he's only been dead 10 years. So, or 10, 11, 12, 13 years this year. They'll do it. They'll do it. But
like
there's just a lot of things.
Get a good Kurt Cobain biopic, but that's when Courtney Cox stops.
Courtney Cox? You mean Courtney Love?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna call her the other C word.
I got you.
I managed to mumble my way into Cox. I was gonna say something else, and I'm like,
I got you.
Don't say it. Don't say it. I want to say what I want to say, but I went with Courtney.
I got you. I got
Courtney
you.
Love. If she stops being a bitch and maybe just give her daughter the rights to Nirvana and let her daughter, or Kurt's daughter, you know what I mean? Let her do with it, But no, Courtney wants to be a little bitch and shit up for her.
She's a bitch. All right, folks, that's going to do it for us. This was a long one, but it was good. The last half hour was a good discussion. Here on episode 141, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you're watching after the fact, if you made it this far, comment below and let Tony and I know your thoughts on the movie. Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Do you want to see more? Or do you think just seeing Leatherface go off and go home and that's it? Kind of bookends it nice. Let us know.
Because of the way we did this, I really enjoyed the movie because of how we did it. You know what I mean?
Right, I understand.
I don't have anything bad to say about it. It was a fun movie night.
It is what it is. Thanks to our great moderators, of course. Frank Riker, Tabitha Short, Darren Sands, Chris Baber. Thank you to all the Super Chat questions that came in, the non-Super Chat questions that came in. And Tony and I will be back Monday night, 6:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just a quick turnaround here because we did tonight for episode 4 of What If. Alrighty. We'll see you then.